What is up, guys? I hope you're doing well today. Welcome. I got a new shirt today. So excited. Uh, probably should. I don't, but this is Kitchen Court Chats, where we chat about court in my kitchen. Thank you so much, Very Cherry. Vicky's here, Daylight's here, Courtney's here, T-Rex is here, Sashina, Beverly, Bradford, Tin Man. Did I already say Vicky? I think I said Vicky. Somebody was here earlier too. Oh, Jonathan Hart, Billy Elliott. Yes. Lisa Figueroa. I hope Lisa's sleeping. Lisa reported in the Discord earlier today about her medical test that she had yesterday. And she took an edible today. So we'll see how that goes. Lisa, let us know if you need anything. We're here for you. What are we doing here, guys? Oh, let's just start by just doing a little chit chat about the DMV. Orlando Chiquita! Donna's here. Donna, how did your surgery go? How's it going? Do tell, do tell. I'm here to just complain a little bit. Oh, very cherry, rough day. Tell us about it. Let's help ya. That's what we're here for. Let me just tell you about the bitch at the fucking DMV today. Hold on. Is it louder than normal or quieter than normal? Where's that? Um, okay, the bitch at the DMV. Okay, so first of all, we don't call it DMV. I'm just saying that for you guys, but that's not what we call it. I was like, I need my driver's license, make sure everything's a-okay. Um, I did not book an appointment. Yeah, right, like I would. But I did walk down to the DMV and you're still using a magnifying glass, Donna. Oh, but thank you. I appreciate that. It's called the BMV in Ohio. I said Ohio. I was thinking Hawaii there for a second. Denali Mike's here. You made it. Thank you. Oh, guys, clock in for your shifts, please, quickly. Just get that over with right away if you could. So I clocked into my shift at the DMV, aka I went to get an appointment. Now I'm going to show you what I brought. Okay. I'm not going to dox. Clocked in. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to dox myself, although I do look bad with the short shirt. Um, but okay, I'll show you guys. So I went down to the DMV. We call it ICBC in Canada, or in British Columbia, the Insurance Corporation of British Columbia, because it is an administrative arm of the government. As many of you know, I mentioned all the time that I am Canadian. I immigrated to Canada, however, from Scotland as a young child. And so what that means is that I don't have a birth certificate that is Canadian. I don't. I have a passport, which is great, but I don't have a birth certificate. And so they asked for me to bring a secondary piece of identification. Totally fine. I can do that if I can find it. I was born in Glasgow, Scotland. But you can see by this, so I'm going to show you this. First of all, I'm covering the number, but this piece of identification has been with me virtually my whole life, and you'll see why. This was the critical piece of ID they needed today. I shit you not. She literally said, we would not be able to do this for you except for this ID right here. Okay. Oh shit, my whole name. Do you see that? That's a baby. That's me as a baby. I was 66 centimeters tall. Anyways, I thought that was very funny that they really wanted, and you can see I'm even smiling. Hi. Um, so that critical piece of identification got me the driver's license renewal. How tall an American? That's 2 rulers. 30 centimeters per ruler. So how much is a ruler? Like 12 inches? A foot? Oh, T-Rex, you're funny. Um, anyway, so I said to the lady though, I was like, man, I'm, you know, I don't think this is very appropriate identification because of the picture. And she's like, nope, that's perfect. That's excellent. I'm glad you have that. We don't issue those anymore. I was like, well, then why would you require it? I'm a little confused. Anyways, regardless, I have a driver's license now. I have a passport. I have my citizenship card. I will be in. I was honestly, I got a little like I did some double checking because obviously I'm going to Florida and I want to make sure everything's in order. And I did some double checking. I was like, oh, I don't think Florida is the place that I want to get pulled over and have to deal with something. So, oh, you guys, it's almost Friday. We've almost made it through this week. Um, Denali Mike, I'll post a link for the Discord, for our Discord in the chat, and that should get you, most people, you should join that and then you can connect there. Of course, I know it's regardless, not irregardless, T-Rex. I may be a fail, like a, I don't even know what you would call that. I guess I'm a fucking, I have a diploma, but I didn't graduate on time, so I'm like hesitant to say dropout because I didn't drop out. I fucking stuck in to the end. I just didn't pass. But I finally did. So, give me one sec. I will drop the link to the Discord in the chat. And also, remind you guys to please check out the channels that I feature on my channel. They are my friends. They are people that help me. They are support groups for me. Um, and oh, T-Rex, you're on tomorrow. I forgot about that. We should plug that as well. Tomorrow, I'm having T-Rex on the show. I forgot. It's every second Friday. Um, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Actually, I have a few ideas. What time tomorrow? I don't know, Sashina. I don't know. It usually, like, T-Rex is pretty flexible. I'm pretty flexible. Also, Grim, hilarious thing that you posted in the Discord as I'm literally posting the Discord link right now. But Grim posted something fucking hilarious in the Discord about taking meds, which is a great reminder, okay? To take your meds right now. Mayor's here. Hello, Mayor. No, Lisa, I did not see the Irish Demon video today. I was at the DMV. Uh, I walked there and back, by the way, you guys. I've done a lot of walking today, and that means I'm at almost 17,000 steps for today, which is pretty exciting. Y'all, was it boss? Oh, that's just me now. Okay, we don't need that. Was it, what court was it? Oh, it's Simpson? That's fine. I was like, remember that one time I did something somehow? There's the Discord link. There it is. I posted it. Um, a racy scene on Zoom. I like the sounds of that. You know me. But I've been focusing on slightly different things lately, rather than court, for no other reason than there are a number of amazing court channels out there that are covering that, and I'm so glad. Because that's the main important thing, you know? It was like an episode of OnlyFans Court. Be careful, Jonathan. That's trademarked by me. No, it's not. It's only court cases. Okay, Lisa, I will find it if I can find it. Kitchen court chat. Sorry, looking at legal stuff. Do I not need my corner anymore? Oh no, maybe I don't. I have a Discord now, looking at legal stuff. I finally um also guys, can we get an F in the chat for looking at legal stuff? We're just showing respect for my friend my friend looking at legal stuff. Well, not docs. Um, because she hit 20,000 subscribers. Congratulations. Good job, girl. 20,000 subscribers. F's in the chat. We love it. We love it. We love it. You know, I may not need it. I'm always about diversifying though. What if Discord shuts me out? Lulz. I'll call you lulz on stream. Also, I popped into your stream earlier today, looking at legal stuff. She had 530 people in the stream. So proud. Excellent. Excellent. Now, Lisa Figueroa, the clip that you're talking about is Judge Simpson. Let me do some finagling. I will work on getting that and maybe we'll do it for tomorrow, okay? Um, yes. That's what I'll do. I'll look into it. I can't just play somebody else's video without talking to them about it. So, you just shared the link? Okay. Well, I have to be I will look. I will look at it. I have something ready to go. I swear to God, I don't think we have a translator today, but I'm not sure. And contractors replaced your gas lines and took out internet today, KT? That doesn't sound like anything you want done. Let's take a look. Let's go to ladies and gentlemen, I'll take you now to our court for the day. Also, cock in for your shift or clock in for your shift, please. Oh my God, there is a fucking translator. I swear to God. I swear to God. I try. But we have Steve. Oh my God. Steven Tyler. God, my. Hold on. I gotta switch something. I was wearing headphones the last couple days, but I can't be bothered. It really hurts my head. So just give me 1 second. Also, was that KLF? KLF. How many parts are in your series? This one. Grim, all the stuff happening in Mercury isn't even in retrograde anymore. Do you know my Saturn return was like a 3-year period? Oh my God. Oh, it was a bad 3 years. It was a bad 3 years. I swear to God. Colin's here. You guys, thank you for being here. I love it. Listen, I'll tell you something, KT. And this is a story. I don't even know how you like prevent this from being a problem. Let me go back to me big for a sec. Um, Back to you in the studio, Kitch. Okay, great. Um, so we got internet and then I needed better internet for this and other things that I used to do on the internet. And so we paid extra money for higher internet, better internet. And the company guy comes out and he he made a lot of kerfuffle about a bunch of different things and then said like after a while was like it's all good. Yeah, you're good to go. And nothing really changed, except for the bill. The bill changed. It went higher. But nothing was better. Anyways, we moved to a new place. And when we moved to the new place, the internet people came out and the guy was like, "Oh, yeah, you can't use these cables you got here." We're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, because you have the higher tier internet, you can't be using them." I'm like, "Well, we've been fucking using those for the last year at the other place." And turns out the guy didn't even change the internet. The lazy fucker. He just didn't. Oh, so mad. So mad. And of course, I deal with a company like Spotify, who I make a mistake and they give me money back. And then these people lie to me and then I don't get any money back. It's craziness. Anyways, I don't know how you test that. Like, that's such a trust thing because the company basically has, like, even if and first of all, the upload speed is my problem, right? Everyone's all worried about download speed. No, I'm streaming. I need my upload speed to be good. And in the States, y'all are spoiled, okay? I did some speed tests while I was in, like, hotels. I was like, what the fucking fuck? This hotel has faster internet than I've ever seen in my entire life. It's crazy. Um, I know, no, I've done the Ookla or whatever speed test where they pretend you're running Netflix, which will do like the highest whatever. Again, living on an island doesn't help either. You think that makes my internet slower? Maybe you guys live on the big island and I just live on the small mainland. How's that? Jesus Christ, that sounds like a... Ookla is awesome, right, Tin Man? Yeah, Ookla. Okay. Thank you, KCC. Back to the court now. We don't island shame here. That's right. Folks, please go ahead, take your meds. If you haven't taken your meds, drink your water. Say hello. Tell us what's going on with you. Tell me what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. And let me work on making this chat a bit bigger. I almost can't read it on the screen. So I need my own DNS server. Fuck. I need a lot of things. I need a lot of things. I need a computer. That's my first thing is a computer. Ooh, smart food popcorn is so good, Courtney. Okay, let's burn some calories today too while we're on stream, guys. Because regardless that I've literally almost walked 17,000 steps at this point. Still barely broke 2,000 calories. What? What? Hello, Sean from a campground in Iowa. And yeah, I did do that many steps today. So look at the lawyer lady's face. She's just like, if you're just getting here, please clock in for your shift, guys. It's super appreciative. I'm super appreciative of it. 2 GB service. We'll do an Ookla speed test here in a minute. I'll show y'all what we're working with, okay?
Um, it's going to be 2 weeks, right? Or more. Actually, it'll be more.
Probably like 90 days.
I would say November 30th.
Sorry, Madam Quick. So who do you guys want to start with?
Oh my God, is that a
We'll
spider?
start with Mr. Chavez Torreblanca.
So the Spanish interpreter.
Yes.
Okay.
No Spanish interpreter.
Good morning. For the record, we are back on the record on the 9:30 in custody calendar for Thursday, September 7th.
We are prepared to address the 929 matters. I don't know if the court wanted to quickly address Mr. Barone's matter since he's connected now, it looks like.
Is Mr. Barone, are you there?
There he is. And
if you can go hit your microphone.
Hello?
There we go.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
So is cause number the arraignment.
Oh my God, look at his hair. Shit. Dude, I did my hair today and I thought I was feeling on fleek. Look at his fucking curls. But the beard needs just trimmed, right? Like that's too much. Right?
Matter 3A06320098. There's a tracking review matter 3A00368855. As previously mentioned, Mr. Brown did bond out of custody. We did submit or resubmit to the court a updated proposal for a motion and order for the evaluation, noting obviously out of custody status at this juncture.
All right. So, Mr. Barone, I am going to sign this order. I need you to stay in touch with Ms. Pimentel's office so that you can know when the appointment is. And please make sure you make it to that appointment. I'm also going to set the matter for review. How far out would you like that to be? About 2 months?
I think at this juncture, probably about 90 days. We could see if we could make some progress since we did just have evaluations completed in Bothell this last week. Madam Clerk indicated November 30th, I believe.
All right, so we'll go ahead and set the next court date to November 30th, Mr. Barone. So we'll see you on that date. That'll be, again, is that going to be in the morning?
It's at 1:30, Your Honor, in person.
At 1:30 in person. Okay, so we'll see you in person at the Bothell Municipal Court on November 30th at 1:30. Okay?
And that will be my arraignment.
That's when we're going to have the results from the evaluation, and then once we get those results, we'll proceed with either the arraignment or however the matter is going to proceed. Okay?
Okay.
So we'll see you then, but make sure you stay in touch with Ms. Pimentel's office because it's kind of hard to get those appointments for the evaluation, and you want to make sure you get it done so that this doesn't just keep dragging out. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
All right. So we'll see you on November 30th.
Okay.
And we are ready to address the 929 matters. We do have Ms. Farmer here.
All right. Good morning. Oh, sorry.
Good morning, Your Honor. Maria Farmer, Washington State Court certified Spanish interpreter, permanently sworn, oath on file with the AOC. Maria Farmer, interpret.
Ma'am, you can take a day off, okay? What's going on with your throat? You need a RICO law?
De habla hispana certificada en el estado de Washington, permanentemente juramentada. La licenciada acaba de decir que estamos listos para el caso, los casos de las 9:29 de la mañana.
The first matter to address is Mr. Chavez Torreblanca.
Y su señoría, el primer asunto es el del señor Chávez Torreblanca.
We did submit to the court a statement of defendant on plea of guilty as to cause number 3A0481647.
Y hemos entregado una declaración del acusado en su declaración de culpabilidad bajo el número de caso 3A0481647.
That's one allegation of theft in the third degree, one allegation of criminal trespass in the first degree.
Y es un alegato de hurto en tercer grado y también uno de allanamiento penal en primer grado.
Also to cause number 3A0462697.
Y también en cuanto al número de caso 3A0462697.
Which is one allegation of criminal trespass in the first degree.
Que es un punto del cargo de allanamiento penal en primer grado.
Upon the court's acceptance of the plea, the city is moving to dismiss the two remaining cause numbers.
Y si acepta usted la declaración de culpabilidad del señor, la fiscalía hará una petición desestimando los otros dos puntos del cargo.
With the assistance of the interpreter, we did go over that guilty plea form together this morning.
Y con ayuda de la intérprete repasamos esa declaración del acusado en su declaración de culpabilidad esta mañana.
He's indicating that he has no additional questions at this time.
Y él indicó que no tenía preguntas adicionales en este momento.
And based on our conversation, I do believe he's making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary decision.
Y basado en nuestra conversación, pienso que él está haciendo esta declaración a sabiendas, inteligentemente y voluntariamente.
All right.
¿Está bien?
Good morning.
Ooh, Grim, that reminds me of a really, really funny, and great Halloween costume for anybody that has a little kid. Um, what you dress them in is all pink from top to bottom as much as you can, and then you tie a shoe on their head, like a white shoe, and then they're just pink bubble gum stuck on a shoe. It's such a cute costume for a little kid. I love that. Also, we're coming up to Halloween.
Morning, Mr. Chavez.
Good morning.
Buenos días, señor Chávez.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
All right, before I go over this document with you, I need to clarify one thing on the record. Ms. Farmer, as the interpreter, there's a section on the form that would normally be filled out and you would sign indicating that you had interpreted the document. It is certified under penalty of perjury. So what I'm going to do is ask you this question on the record and then ask you if we have your permission to indicate that a signature on your behalf. So the interpreter declaration reads as follows. I am a, oh, go ahead, because it's been a lot.
Así que antes de que prosigamos con esto, perdón, necesito aclarar algo, algo importante porque en el documento hay una declaración de intérprete. En esa sección dice bajo pena de perjurio que la intérprete leyó el documento, así que necesito preguntarle para que quede en actas y ready, lista.
Okay. So it reads as follows. I am a certified or registered interpreter.
Y dice lo siguiente, soy intérprete certificada
Or have been found otherwise qualified by the court to interpret in the Spanish language.
y ha sido determinado que soy capaz de interpretar en el idioma del español,
Which the defendant understands.
el cual el acusado entiende.
I have translated this document for the defendant from English into that language.
He traducido este documento de inglés a ese idioma, el español.
I certify under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Washington that the foregoing is true and correct.
Y certifico bajo pena de perjurio y las leyes del estado de Washington que lo antes mencionado es verdadero y correcto.
Sí.
Yes.
And Ms. Farmer, do we have your permission then to indicate a signature on your behalf on that paragraph?
Así que, señorita Farmer, tenemos su permiso de poner su firma en esa parte del documento. Yes, Your Honor. Sí, su señoría.
So with that, Mr. Chavez,
Así que, habiendo dicho eso, señor Chávez,
I do have that document, the statement of defendant on plea of guilty with your name and two of your cause numbers on it.
tengo ese documento con su nombre en él y 2 números de caso.
It looks like you gave Ms. Pimentel permission to electronically sign this document on your behalf.
Y parece que usted le dio a la licenciada permiso de firmar este documento electrónicamente de parte suya.
Sí.
Yes.
And even though we just went over it sort of, I need to confirm with you that
Oh, Grim. I've looked at the analytics. My people are in the older generation, and that's okay. Like, I am young comparatively. No offense. I'm not trying to be rude. Although maybe T-Rex is the youngest person here. I would say that I would guess T-Rex might be the youngest. Also, we saw a lady, was that today on We Gotta Chase, where that woman was 39, but oh wow, rough 39. Like a rough 39. I was just like, holy fucking shit. If that's what her 39 looks like, my 35 is looking pretty dang good.
that you had the opportunity to go over this document in its entirety with the assistance of Ms. Farmer, the interpreter, with your attorney, Ms. Pimentel.
Y necesito saber si usted tuvo la oportunidad de repasar este documento con la ayuda de la intérprete y con su abogada, la señorita Pimentel.
Sí.
Yes.
Was Ms. Pimentel able to answer any questions that you had about the document?
Y la señorita Pimentel pudo contestar cualquier pregunta que usted pudo haber tenido en este documento.
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about the document?
¿Y usted tiene alguna pregunta para mí en cuanto a este documento?
No.
No.
All right, we're going to go through this together, starting on page 1, paragraph 1.
Está bien, vamos a repasar este documento juntos. Página 1, párrafo 1.
Is Samuel D. Chavez Torreblanca your true name?
Samuel D. Chávez Torreblanca es su nombre verdadero y correcto.
Sí.
Yes.
Sí.
Yes.
Are you 34 years old?
¿Tiene 34 años?
Sí.
Yes.
Is the highest level of education you've completed the 9th grade?
Y el
And
último
go ahead.
¿Y el último grado de educación que usted completó fue el final de secundaria?
Sí.
Yes.
And the document also indicates that you read and write in Spanish. Is that correct?
Y el documento indica que usted lee y escribe el español. ¿Es eso correcto?
Correcto. Sí.
Correct, yes.
Paragraph 4 indicates
I'm gonna be honest with y'all though. I'm not sure I learned. There's very few lessons I can recall from the 9th to the 12th grade. I mean, a lot of social interaction, a lot of preparation to fucking do bullshit for companies. That's basically what school is from the 9th grade on. Because I wasn't going to university. I was not going to college. So I was not worried about my GPA. None of that. I was already working at the bank. I was already counting all these people's money who were pretending to be rich with their college degrees. But, oh, Billy Elliott's here. William's here. But seriously, like, we were talking about it earlier. Illiteracy is a huge problem in North America still, even if we don't want to believe it, because by the very nature of this chat, you're not illiterate if you're here. Those people won't be here. Karin, I was thinking about you today. That's funny. I was thinking about you. But seriously, I think that's like sometimes when I want to cry or feel a little bit of emotion in my like dark black heart, I watch What Would You Do? Where they like set people up and then there's one episode where they had this illiterate guy try and order milkshakes. My God. Jesus Christ. Makes me cry. But anyways, the whole point is like just by nature, the people in this chat are not going to be illiterate because if they're chatting, they're literate for the most part. So, it might be out of our sphere a little bit, but I think that what we need to remember is that there may be people in our lives that are not educated to the level that we think, not even, they may be masking their education level, You could be using voice to text Tin Man, but then how would you respond to other people in the chat? I don't think you could have it all read out to you. Erica Thorpe, welcome. But that would explain the typos with the typo. I always thought that too, Donna. I was always like, oh, yeah, I wish I was there because I would and you know what? Actually, every day is a little bit of a what would you do episode, I think, for everybody that we should all remember, right? Text to speech is fine, but what about reading and comprehending and participating? I understand I'm not trying to say it's not possible. What I'm trying to say is remember when you are in a situation where you might become blanketed by people that have similar privilege than you. It's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes you don't even remember that happens. and that there are adults, seniors, lots of people that do not have um, the ability to read. I mean, it's sad to me, but it's also like super. I can understand why people are embarrassed about it and don't talk about it. Let's see here. I stood up to racism? No. Did I? I mean, there's not a lot of racism here. I stand up to like certain situations that happen. Um, Again, in the States versus Canada, like when I was going down to Houston, I had multiple people pull me aside and just give me a real, like, straight up talk. Like, listen, the way you are in Canada, you can't be in the States because everybody has a pew pew. And I don't think that's true either. Again, those are the same people that might tell me not to walk downtown where all the drug addicts are. Why? Are they going to shoot me up? Like, it just doesn't work like that. Loud Elvis, thank you for being here. And listen, uh, oh, agree, William. I think, well, here's the thing though. I think the bystander effect in itself is so dangerous that you should be proud when you stand up for something. You should. But don't make it an exception. Make it the rule in your life. My daughter knows if we see something fucked up, we're going to stop. We're going to talk about it. We're going to try and get into it. And that's just the way I've decided to raise her. That's the way I am as a person. I don't, I mean, I toot my own horn every day. I come on here every single day for attention. But seriously, I mean, who am I to talk about looking for kudos and attention? Listen, we are going to keep watching this. You don't like talking, William, you're all about action. I do that too. I'm a talker walker. I can walk and talk. And again, I had some of the best interactions I had when I was in Houston were with homeless people. Absolutely. Especially once they realize that you're talking to them genuinely and you're not upset, like it's not a joke. Some really, really, really great interactions with people. And people are just that, people, you know? But I will say, where you meet people is one thing. Like that guy outside of my hotel in Houston, there was this guy, it must have been 110 degrees. And he was sweeping the sidewalk, cleaning it up of garbage without his shirt on. And I went up to him and I started talking to him. I was just like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, and Loud Elvis, you say lucky I didn't get mugged, but I don't think that's true. I mean, I go out Chicago 3 o'clock in the morning by myself, downtown Chicago. People freaked out when I told them. They're like, you did what? I was like, yeah, I was looking for pizza. And they were just like, you can't do that. I was like, well, I fucking just did. And it was fine. So I get that you're scared for it, but I'm not. Um, Again, another homeless guy I met in Houston, I ended up getting another dude to drive him home. It's just the way I do. Look what happened to Smollett on the streets of Chicago. Again, I'm not saying that some people aren't nefarious, bad characters. There are those people everywhere. I got my head on a swivel when I'm outside. I don't drink usually when I travel unless I'm with a group of people that I trust, T-Rex. Um, and and I'm so loud. I'm like ridiculously loud. You know what I mean? Like attention getting loud. And William, I've worked with homeless people too. I live in a city that has rampant homelessness. I walked today. We're now at we're still not even at 17,000 steps, but we're almost there. And I must have passed 5, 6, 10 people openly using drugs on the street, not even hiding in a alleyway or a doorway, just openly using drugs. And it's not that I'm against drugs. I'm not. Y'all know well, you might know, but I'm all for legalization, decriminalization, and the government to sell drugs. Regulate and sell the good stuff. Give us the good stuff. But and Grim, you're right. What city doesn't have a homeless problem anymore? Many, many cities do. I happen to live in probably one of the best climates in Canada. We live on an island. If you get here, it means that you took a ferry that took you 75 miles from the mainland to get to this island. You paid for it. And if you want to get off, you're going to have to pay again and drive another hour out of town. So the likelihood of people that are down on their luck getting here and then getting off the island, it's pretty slim. Why would they want to leave? Everywhere else has much worse weather. So during the winter, you can be homeless outside here. Whereas in most of Canada, people freeze to death every single year sit outside, which is just heartbreaking in itself. I would like to point out, there is a program that I really support in Winnipeg, I believe it is. Winnipeg is in the middle of the country, where they call it housing first. So instead of trying to get somebody clean and sober before they give them housing, they actually they give them housing first, and then they'll actually deliver alcohol because that's generally the drug that they're using um, on a daily basis, a certain amount. Instead of forcing them into sobriety, they really focus on housing first as a way to stabilize people. And so what you find is when you take away people's need to steal or to commit crime in order to get their drug of choice, and you give them stable housing, they tend to really clean themselves up. And the ones that are left over that haven't, you can really then focus on them. Anyways, as usual, if they put me in charge, I can fix the world. Jesus Christ. T-Rex, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about some of the craziest cities you've driven through. You have to stick your foot up the ass of the people who work at this shipper. Okay, let's keep watching a little bit of court. This lady's almost done. Your black heart won't let you care. Hey, listen, William, I get it. I also own a t-shirt that says, yes, I do have spare change. Thank you for asking, you homeless piece of shit. Like, that's not appropriate. And that's why I'm not an educator. No, but seriously, like, I get it. I totally understand being just inundated with it and not willing to deal with it anymore. But I think that what I know is that when I've worked in government and I've seen the amount of money spent on criminalizing and penalizing people for doing things, you don't win, And Loud Elvis, it's not free rooms where they're drug dens. These are supportive living facilities that don't require sobriety, but that are well maintained and managed. So even though they allow them to be drunk or to be high, they don't allow guests in the room. They have and who's going to turn away the free booze or the free whatever drug they're getting in order to let Johnny Noblo come in? Like, no. So what they found is it's very effective. Oh, Grim, that makes me sad. That the medical bills are the number one reason for bankruptcy, and I mean, the woman today when I went to renew my driver's license at the DMV, she said, "Do you have your provincial health card?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And she's like, "Did you move away?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." And she's like, "Well, if you don't renew this, they'll think you've left." And I was like, "What?" They didn't seem to think I left when I went to fucking the hospital. They just treat me just fine. And I know the number off by heart. We have what's called a care card number. So I know my care card number off by heart. And she was like giving me this whole talking to. And finally, by the end of it, I was like, okay, yes, yeah, I'll get a new care card. I will. How do I go about doing that? And she's like, I've already done it. You'll be getting it in the mail. I was like, what? So you were just giving me a talking to for no reason? And this is the same bitch. I've already got the driver's license, so I don't have to worry about it if she was ever to find this. But she's a fucking bitch, okay? I'll tell you why. She comes over after debating giving me this driver's license, and she goes, "Did you want to change the height or the weight on the license?" And I was like, um, sure. Yeah, I guess we should add a few pounds. Fair enough, you know. Like just thinking like, okay, fair enough. Like she literally said, wait, first of all, I was more perplexed by the height. What am I, Jenna Marbles growing 7 inches taller? No. Like, what the fuck? Uh, Anyways, so I was like, yeah, I literally added 20 pounds. I was like, that's not right either, but we'll just pretend. And and I'm laughing a little bit. And then I get home and I look at it and I'm like, oh, it says I'm blonde. So did she really care? Or was that just a dig at me being fat? Because if she was looking at me, looking at the license, and saying, okay, this lady is fat and she has brown hair and she's the same tall, like I can understand. But bitch did not even change the hair color. But she made me change my weight. I do dye my hair. I dyed my hair today, but I don't dye it from blonde. It ain't ever been blonde without dye starting it that way. MB, you're so sweet. Thank you. Um, Nothing, Lisa, it doesn't have anything to do with being fat. The whole point is she didn't make a point of changing what was the most obvious difference, which is blonde to brunette. She made a point of saying, did you want to change your weight or your height? And I was just like, I guess. Yeah. Um, Also, I lied. I just lied, by the way. I wasn't even going to tell her. You vote purple hair with pink streaks? I could do purple hair with pink streaks. I dyed my own hair today. It looks pretty good. Um, oh yeah, did they check? She might have been jealous of my boobs. I was being so nice to her. I was like complimenting her. I was like, "You're so fast at typing. Wow." And she was like, I was like, "Such a hard job. It's tough for you. Thank you for helping me." Again, I'm showing up there with with some problems. I'm like, "Oh, that lady in the ID, can we just change the name on that? I don't want that." Um, yeah. Also, I walked by a food pantry today, which was, she might have thought I was being condescending, William. Maybe. I mean, listen, I might not have even said it like that. I am pretty good at conversation in person with people. Most people like talking. Well, first of all, she was very good at typing. That's the first point is that I wasn't lying. She was exceptionally fast at typing. Now I was faster. I wasn't going to say that, but she she was good at typing. T-Rex. I can tell you KCC is the opposite of condescending. Too friendly sometimes. Too friendly, T-Rex. Oh, loud Elvis. Honestly, I was just worried about, oh my God, with your low IQ, I'm surprised you can type at all, William. No, first of all, I was being demure and I hadn't yet accomplished my goal. Let's put it that way. She held in her hands my passport, my Canadian citizenship card, and the fate of my future. She was not blonde. She was an Asian lady with dark hair, younger than me. She looked well put together. She was wearing an Apple Watch. She did not have her nails done, but she did some pretty impressive clickety clacketing. Demure and KCC don't go together, MB. I know. I know. But seriously, government employees, they don't get any kudos. Okay. You give them a little bit, oh my gosh. And most people are upset at the DMV. Also, they had this like system, it's sort of like a deli where you like get given a number and then they'll call out the numbers, but they have them all listed up and people like don't pay attention. And every time they call the number, I would like make sure to check the number and then I like make eye contact with the lady and I'm like, where are these fucking people with their numbers getting called? And she would give me the same look like, I don't know where these stupid people are. And I'm like, oh my God, your job's so hard. And she'd be like, thank you. But like non-verbally, And yeah, again, you just got to keep it on the level. Keep it on level. Lisa, I know I'm right. I've worked in the government. I've worked in many levels of government. I don't last very long because I try and change shit and they get fucking mad about that. Oh my God. You wanna make a government employee mad? I've literally been kicked out of unions. They're like, you're not union material. I'm like, no, you're right. I'm more of a manager. They're like, yeah, you are. Fucking leave. Um, Crystal's here. Hello. Welcome. Um, and Sashina, I'm hearing this more and more. People are able to renew their driver's licenses online. That's cool. I am not able to do that. No, William, she was not thinking, why does that bitch keep looking at me like I don't know what I'm doing? No. Also, I was talking to this man who was sitting across from me. Like, I just can't not. I just can't not. And this man was sitting across from me. I'm trying to remember the funniest part of his story. But he wasn't paying attention to the numbers anyway. So his number got called and I was like, isn't that your number? And he was like, oh my God, that is my number. And I'm like, you should go do that. Have a good day. Bye. Also, I paid $75 to renew my driver's license today. Didn't feel very good about that. DMV in the States are state offices, not federal. Yeah, so ICBC is what's called a crown corporation. So a crown corporation is a business that earns money but is run by the government. So BC Ferries is another crown corporation. I think so BC Transit, which I worked for before, is one level down from a crown corporation. Hold on one sec. I'll just read Okay, crown corporations are public sector organizations established and funded by the British Columbia government to provide specialized goods and services to citizens. They operate at varying levels of government control and report their planning, governance, and accountabilities. So I've explained that before that we use a administrative penalty system for driving issues. And So we don't, which I actually disagree with. You know, that's one of the issues that I have. So, oh my gosh, there's more than I can list here. BC Assessment, BC Council for International Education, BC Family Maintenance Agency. That is the one that collects child support. Financial Services Agency, the Gaming Society, which would be for lottery. Housing, BC Hydro and Power Authority. Infrastructure, Energy, BC Transit. Okay, they are a Crown Corp. I used to work for one. BC Lottery Corporation, BC Securities Commission, Community Living BC, which is like a disability advocacy group. Oh, okay. I've worked for 3 Crown corporations. Just realized that. Mikey, hello, Mikey. I hope you're doing well today. The Royal BC Museum, which if you ever come to Canada, please do visit the Royal BC Museum. It is one of the top museums in the world. I used to work there right before COVID. God, what the fuck was I doing? I was planning a gala, an orca gala to celebrate orcas. You're hanging and banging, Mikey. Love it. Just love it. Well, we have a good group here tonight. Please clock in for your shift. We literally have not gotten through our first case yet, and it's only been an hour. We're mostly talking about how much I talk. Yes, clock in for your shift. You know how it works. Were you first daylight? Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's the crimes that you are charged with that you intend to plead guilty to.
You talk too much too, Mikey? No. Who would ever say that about you? No, I don't think you do. I bet people would prefer to hear you talk more. That's my guess.
Today are 1 count of theft in the 3rd degree and 2 counts of criminal trespass in the 1st degree.
Y el párrafo 4 indica los 2 puntos del cargo a los cuales usted se va a declarar culpable hoy día, que son 1 punto del cargo de hurto en 3er grado y 2 puntos del cargo de allanamiento penal en 1er grado.
The elements of those crimes were set forth in the charging documents that you received. Did you go through those elements carefully to make sure they accurately describe the crimes you intend to plead guilty to today?
Y los elementos de esos 2 delitos están en el documento acusatorio. Usted repasó con la licenciada la descripción de los elementos de los delitos a los cuales usted se va a declarar culpable hoy día.
Sí, sí.
Yes.
And you understand that those elements are what the city would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt should this case, or if this case had gone to trial in order to convict you.
Y usted entiende que esos elementos serían los elementos que la fiscalía hubiera tenido que probar más allá de toda duda razonable si este caso hubiera ido a juicio.
Sí.
Yes.
Paragraph 5 sets forth the constitutional rights that you give up by pleading guilty.
El párrafo 5 indica los derechos constitucionales a los cuales usted se está renunciando al declararse culpable.
They include the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury.
Mikey, we require photographs of Salem on your shoulder. And her voice is real. She needs a Ricola. Do you guys have Ricolas? Do you know what that is? Like a cough drop? Without fail, I managed to pick interpreter cases. Seriously, it's fucked. Duh, yes. Okay. First of all, don't say duh, like as if there are many things you guys don't have. You guys think now you're laughing at me because of Ricola. Damn it. Also, Grim, did you say earlier this is an ADHD stream? That is true. However, I'm now medicated, so that's as good as I get. Also, Lisa, let's do an F in the chat for Lisa's butt. F in the chat for Lisa's butt. USA is a third world country, and neither is Canada. ADHD theater.
In the county where the crime was alleged to have been committed.
Incluyendo un juicio público sin demora con un jurado imparcial en el condado donde se alega que se cometió el delito.
The right to remain silent before and during trial and to refuse to testify against yourself.
El derecho de guardar silencio antes y durante un juicio y el derecho de negarse a testificar en contra suya.
The right at trial to hear and question any witnesses who would testify against you.
El derecho en un juicio de oír y hacerle preguntas a los testigos que testificarían en contra suya.
You also have the right at trial to testify and to have witnesses testify for you, and those witnesses can be made to appear at no expense to you.
Y también tendría el derecho de testificar de parte suya, y cualquier testigo que testificaría de parte suya también tendría que comparecer sin ningún gasto para usted.
You also have the right to the presumption of innocence that requires that a charge be proven beyond a reasonable doubt before a finding of guilt could enter against you.
También tiene el derecho de ser presumido inocente a menos que cada cargo se pruebe más allá de toda duda razonable o si usted se declara culpable.
And the right to appeal a finding of guilt after trial.
Y el derecho de apelar un fallo de culpabilidad después de un juicio.
Understand that these are your constitutional rights and that by pleading guilty today, you will be giving them up in this case.
Y usted entiende que esos son sus derechos constitucionales y que al declararse culpable hoy día, usted está renunciando a todos esos derechos.
Sí.
Yes.
Paragraph 6 sets forth the consequences of your plea. Did you go through those carefully?
El párrafo 6 indicaba las consecuencias de su declaración de culpabilidad. ¿Repasó esos cuidadosamente?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you make sure that the prosecutor's recommendation that's written in paragraph 6C accurately reflects what they said they were going to recommend pursuant to the plea agreement?
Y usted se aseguró de que esa recomendación de la fiscal en el párrafo 6C reflejaba la oferta que fue descrita.
Oh my God, you're killing me. It's like Mexican Sesame Street. What is sesame in Mexican? Oh God, I failed.
Por la licenciada?
Sí.
Yes.
But you understand as the judge, I don't have to follow that recommendation or anyone's recommendation.
Y usted entiende que como yo soy la juez, yo no tengo que seguir esa recomendación o cualquier otra recomendación.
I could sentence you to anything up to and including the maximum allowed by law, which in this case would be 364 days in jail on each count. So
Plaza Sésamo. Thank you, Erica. Plaza Sésamo.
almost 3 years. And $5,000 fine on each count, which means $15,000 in fines, and place you on probation for 2 years. If I did that, that would not be grounds for you to withdraw your guilty plea. Do you understand that?
Y usted entiende que yo le podría dar hasta el máximo posible bajo la ley en cada uno de estos puntos del cargo, que sería 364 días en la cárcel para cada uno, que sería casi 3 años en la cárcel, y también la multa de $5,000 por cada punto del cargo, que sería más o menos $15,000, y también libertad condicional durante posiblemente 2 años. Y que simplemente sabiendo eso no sería razón suficiente para usted poder retirar su declaración de culpabilidad. ¿Entiende eso?
Sí, lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand it.
You also understand if you are not a citizen of the United States, these pleas could have immigration consequences.
Y usted también entiende que si no es ciudadano estadounidense, que
If anybody is learning Spanish here, I'm going to be pissed off. Y'all know that I failed 4 years of Spanish. And if anybody is learning shit from this Plazo de what was it? Sesamo. That's why I failed.
Que esas declaraciones de culpabilidad podrían conllevar repercusiones negativas migratorias. ¿Entiende?
Sí, lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
Did you go over all of these consequences with Ms. Pimentel?
¿Y usted repasó todas estas consecuencias con la señorita Pimentel?
Sí,
Yes.
And Ms. Pimentel, did you discharge your duties pursuant to Padilla and Sandoval?
Y señorita Pimentel, ¿usted desempeñó sus obligaciones bajo los casos de Padilla y Sandoval?
Yes, I did.
Sí lo hice.
Mr. Chavez, has anyone made any threats or promises to get you to plead guilty today, other than the recommendation from the city that's written in the paperwork?
Señor Chávez, ¿alguien lo ha amenazado a usted o a sus seres queridos o le ha hecho promesas aparte de la promesa en el párrafo 6 del papeleo de la fiscal para su oferta?
no,
No.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily then?
Entonces, ¿usted está haciendo esto libre y voluntariamente?
sí,
Yes.
Paragraph 11 is a statement in your own words of what you did that makes you guilty of this offense.
El párrafo 11 es una
Melanie, you can believe it if you want. This is the first case that we're getting to tonight. So you're not even that late, babe. Welcome. Please clock in for your shift. I think it's almost time for me to start thawing an Uncrustable here. Also, if there's another Spanish interpreter case, I'm 100p turning it on to 1.5. You guys know it just hurts me deep inside that I fucking can't understand this.
declaración en sus propias palabras de qué hace que usted sea culpable de estos delitos.
It reads as follows.
Dice lo siguiente.
On June 7th of 2023, in the city of Bothell, Washington,
El 7 de junio del 2023 en la ciudad de Bothell, estado de Washington,
I did wrongfully obtain various items from Home Depot with the intent to deprive Home Depot of the value of the items.
incorrectamente tomé artículos de la tienda de Home Depot con la intención de privar a esa tienda de los ingresos de esos artículos.
Also on both May 31st
You guys know I hire people for these cases. I'm one of the biggest employers in my city of freelance shitty actors that I give them basic scripts beforehand and then I tell them really like run with it. You want to be a translator from Sesame Street? Yes. Yes, that's you. Okay. I sound hotter and my boobs move faster. Lisa, that's hilarious. I've 100% thought about hiring people to reenact cases. I've personally sat and reenacted cases. I've never released those, but I've definitely done that. I've read some cases aloud. Oh, Sashina, there's a great idea. I'll run an acting school. They pay me. Yes, that's a good idea. I'd love to reenact a case. Oh, I'd love to. Write scripts, people. Send me scripts. And money. I'm just kidding. You can't send me money. YouTube Daddy hates me.
1st of 2023 and June 7th of 2023, I did knowingly enter and remain unlawfully inside of the Home Depot store after I had previously of 3 years.
Y también el 31 de mayo del
For 3 years?
2023 y el 7 de junio del 2023, a sabiendas, entré y permanecí dentro de una tienda de Home Depot después de que yo sabía que previamente me habían prohibido entrar a cualquier ubicación de las tiendas de Home Depot en cualquier ciudad durante un periodo de 3 años.
Is that a true and accurate statement?
¿Esa es una declaración verdadera y precisa?
sí,
Yes.
Do you adopt that statement as your own?
¿Usted la adopta como si fueran sus propias palabras?
sí,
Yes.
Then to the charge of count 1 under cause number 3A048167 of theft in the third degree. How do you plead?
Entonces, en cuanto al cargo, bajo el número de caso 3A04811647, hurto en tercer grado, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And as to count 2, the criminal trespass in the first degree under that same cause number, how do you plead?
Y en cuanto al segundo punto del cargo, allanamiento penal en primer grado, bajo ese número de caso similar, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And as to the one count of criminal trespass in the first degree charged under cause number 3A04626697, how do you plead?
Y por el último punto del cargo, allanamiento penal primer grado, bajo el número de caso 3A0462697, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Guilty pleas will enter. I find they're knowingly, voluntarily made, and that there is a legal and factual basis for accepting the defendant's pleas of guilty.
Estoy registrando 3 declaraciones de culpabilidad. Pienso que se hicieron a sabiendas, voluntariamente e inteligentemente, y que existe motivo fundado para las 3 acusaciones.
Are we ready to proceed to sentencing at this time?
¿Estamos listos para proseguir con la condena en este momento?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
Yes.
Does the city have anything to add to its recommendation?
¿La fiscalía tiene algo que añadir a su recomendación?
Your Honor, this is an agreed recommendation.
Su señoría, esta es una recomendación acordada.
And pursuant to this plea agreement, the city is moving to dismiss case numbers 3A0.
Ma'am, you had literally 22 minutes to prep this. 22 minutes. Also, Daylight, this is some of my bread and butter, Bothell Municipal Court. It's like a rich part of Washington. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
186579, as well as 3A0443832.
Counsel, could you please read the first case number one more time?
Certainly. 3A0186579.
Y sí, su señoría, conforme a esta declaración de culpabilidad, la Fiscalía está presentando una petición para desestimar los puntos del cargo 3A0186579 y 3A0443832.
I'll grant city's motion to dismiss those 2 cause numbers.
Voy a otorgar la petición de la Fiscalía para desestimar esos 2 puntos del cargo, números de caso.
Ms. Pimentel.
Señorita Pimentel,
This is an agreed upon recommendation, so we are asking the court to follow it.
esta es una recomendación acordada y le estamos pidiendo al tribunal que la siga.
He does have the credit for time served.
Él sí tiene crédito por tiempo cumplido.
Additionally, Your Honor, he has obviously been in custody now for about a week and a half.
Y adicionalmente, su señoría, él ha estado detenido durante casi una semana y media.
So I would ask the court to waive any non-mandatory fines and costs.
Así que le pediría al tribunal que perdone cualquier tarifa o gravamen que no sea obligatorio.
Mr. Chavez, this is your opportunity to tell me anything that you would like me to take into consideration before I pass sentence. The fancy legal term is your right of allocution.
Señor Chávez, esta es su oportunidad de decirme cualquier información que usted quiere que yo sepa antes de darle su condena. La palabra elegante para describir este término es su derecho de alocución.
Oh, no, pues la verdad no tengo palabras para decir.
So no, truthfully, I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
Okay.
I will follow this recommendation. I will impose 364 days on all 3 counts. On count 1, I will suspend 353 days, giving you 11 days to serve, but will give you credit for 11 days already served. On the other two, the criminal trespass counts, I will suspend the entirety of the 364 days.
Entonces, voy a seguir esta recomendación y voy a imponer los 364 días en la cárcel en los 3 puntos del cargo. En el primer punto del cargo, de esos 364 días, voy a suspender 353 de ellos, dejando 11 días y ya cumplió con el tiempo por crédito por tiempo cumplido esos 11 días. Luego, en los otros 2 puntos del cargo, voy a suspender los 364 días de los 364 días posibles en cada uno de esos puntos del cargo.
You will be on probation for 24 months on the following conditions.
Y usted estará en libertad condicional durante los próximos 24 meses siguiendo las siguientes condiciones.
Have no contact with the Home Depot.
No puede tener contacto con ninguna de las tiendas de Home Depot.
Have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause.
No puede tener ninguna otra contravención de la ley penal por la cual exista motivo fundado para esa acusación.
You need to make it to any future court hearings if I said any there.
Tiene que comparecer a cualquier futura audiencia ante el tribunal si yo fijo una y le envío un citatorio.
Okay.
And to be sure you receive notice of those, you need to make sure you keep your mailing address up to date with the court.
Y para asegurarse de que usted reciba mis citatorios, tiene que saber que su dirección para recibir correo postal esté actualizada en todo momento con el tribunal y el departamento de licencias.
Sí, está bien.
That's fine.
Okay. Because I'm sure that even though seeing me again may not be high on your list of things to do,
Porque estoy segura que aunque verme nuevamente no esté al tope de su lista,
I imagine you would rather do that than face a warrant for your arrest and talking to me like this again.
supongo que preferiría eso en vez de recibir una orden de arresto.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Chavez. I know you have a number of other courts to go to. Hopefully we'll get something worked out.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Buena suerte, señor Chávez. Sé
Hopefully you get a Ricola.
que tiene bastantes otros tribunales a los cuales tiene que acudir.
Sí,
Yes,
gracias.
thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hasta luego.
Okay.
All right, sir. Go ahead, have a seat.
The next matter to address, Your Honor, from the 9/29 calendar is Mr. Moreno's matter. Give me a moment to get down here for the right cause number.
Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Sorry.
I was gonna say is I believe that's the
Yes.
last matter for Ms. Pimentel, for Ms. Farmer. Sorry, Ms. Pimentel, you're stuck. But Ms. Farmer, thank you very much for being here this morning. Appreciate that and take
Thank
care.
you so much. You too. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And
right.
this is Frankie Moreno Jr., cause number 3A0388673, on for arraignment, 1 allegation of theft in the 3rd degree. This is from an incident date of May 2nd of 2023. Had the opportunity to go over the maximum penalty with him. We also discussed the constitutional rights he has at this stage of the proceeding, indicating no additional questions at this time, and so we are prepared to move forward with the arraignment.
Good morning, Mr. Moreno.
Morning.
Is Frankie Castillo Moreno Jr. your true name?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Pimentel just told me she went over quite a bit of information with you this morning, including your constitutional rights. Did you understand all of it?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, Ms. Pimentel.
We'll acknowledge receipt of the complaint, waive formal reading, and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
Not guilty plea will enter. Court has previously had an opportunity to review the police reports, did make a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request with regard to release and conditions?
Your Honor, the city is requesting that bail be maintained in the amount of $2,000. Mr. Moreno has, it looks like 16 lifetime, I apologize, it's another person. He has about, it looks like 20 plus lifetime warrants, as well as 2 outstanding warrants at this time.
Ms. Pimentel.
Your Honor, you hadn't had a failure to appear, it looks like since 21, which were those Linwood cases. I'd ask the court to release him today on his own recognizance. Certainly no objection to him quashing those as a condition of his release. We did discuss that as well. He is working full-time, it sounds like. And obviously now that he's aware of the court date, indicates he will be able to appear. To standard conditions. Based off of what he represented as far as employment is concerned, I don't know whether or not he will qualify for appointed counsel. I think he would need to fill out the actual affidavit.
Mr. Moreno, why should I trust that you're going to make it back to court?
I can't miss any more work.
So making it to court might interfere with that, right?
Yeah.
All right. You plan on making it to court regardless?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Promise.
How many hours are you working a week?
40 hours a week.
All right. Normal business hours, or are you on a different shift?
Normal business hours. I'm an iron worker.
You're an iron worker, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Moreno, I'm going to take a chance on you despite the city's request. They have every reason to ask me to take you to hold you in custody. So make it to court. Don't make me look, okay? Because they have permission to say neener to me. I don't like that. All right. Make it to court.
Did she just say neener? Graham, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Just watch this re-rack of neener for a sec before you leave.
Despite the city's request, they have every reason to ask me to take you to hold you in custody. So make it to court. Don't make me look, okay? Because they have permission to say neener to me. I don't like that. All right. Make it to court. I'm going to make sure that you understand you have a couple of things going on with this. So following conditions: notify the court in person or in writing of any change of address. It's really simple. You want to know when and where you need to be, and we're going to send you by mail that information. If you don't get it, then you don't know where to be, right?
Yeah.
So make sure we have a good mailing address. Have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. Make it to your court dates, which I'm going to give you. I'm re-emphasizing that, right? Make an appointment with your attorney, make it to that appointment. They can't help you if you're not talking to them, okay? And we'll go over a little bit more on that in a minute. Was there a request for no contact with a location?
Your Honor, there was. The city is requesting that Mr. Moreno do not return to 18618 129th Avenue Northeast. I'm happy to put that in the chat if that would help, Madam Clerk.
Let's do that. So no contact with that location, Mr. Moreno, and those will be my conditions. I'm going to set this matter for pretrial by Zoom so that you can just take a break from work instead of having to actually come into court. You need to make it, and you need to make sure you have the ability to do that. Is there going to be a problem with you connecting to Zoom?
No.
All right, so I'm going to set that for October 2nd at 2:30 in the afternoon by Zoom, okay? Your trial date is going to be in the November trial. In your next court date, the important one to make sure you show you're going to show up is October 2nd at 2:30. I'm also going to
Come on, go back. Look at his mouth, first of all. Watch this. We can just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Look at him open, close, open, close, open, close. I'm a fish. A fish. I'm a fish and I like to eat fish food. I'm a fish. I'm a fish. I'm a fish and I like to eat fish food. I forgot what I was gonna say when I saw his fish mouth. Fuck. Why is that happening to me? I'm a fish. I'm a fish. I'm a fish. I like to eat fish food.
you show you're going to show up is October 2nd at 2:30. I'm also going to tell you, it won't be in the paperwork from me, but I see that South District Court is expecting you to appear on October 10th for arraignment. So I don't know if you've received that notice yet, but you need to be aware of that.
Thank you.
Just to keep up. And then obviously the other condition is you need to contact Linwood Municipal Court and get those warrants taken care of. Let me take a look here. Let's see.
That's a banger, by the way. I'm a fish. I'm a fish. I'm a fish and I like to eat fish food. Yeah, we're working on that later.
It's giving me the wrong one. Give me just a second here. And of course, my computer decided to slow down.
Welcome to the club, bitch. Time to clock in for shift. Also, tell me what kind of fish you would be if you were a fish. Like, I'm a fish. I'm a fish. I'm a fish and I like to eat fish food. What kind of fish is he? He's a wide-mouthed bass. That's what he is. Look at his face. Look at his fucking face. How does he get his... Jesus Christ. I don't know if I could get my mouth that big. And I am very proud of how big my mouth can be. Let's just say that. Okay? You know? Wow, he has such a black hole of a mouth. Is it because I have lighting that looks weird? Do I need to turn off my lighting so that doesn't like show you my fucking back of my throat in a very odd and probably monetizable way on a different website? I am properly medicated.
All right. So it looks like you missed it, a pretrial. You're going to have to meet with, it's now Judge Baffu, who's the judge there. So you're going to need to let. So it looks like you just failed to appear there in May of this year. So.
Denali, Mike, that's so sweet. I think it's pretty amazing too. You know what? We're very close to 300 subscribers on the channel, you guys. 300 of the best people. Where's the Discord link? Disinfectant. Daylight Disinfectant says, you know what, Daylight? I can get that for you, one sec. There's no mods yet because we're working on that. That's part of my plan in Florida, to be honest with you. I'm going to be doing some mod Olympiad work. You guys know how it is, how hard it is to do it abroad. Yeah, it will be a link, Jonathan.
You guys know how it
Oh,
is.
listen, there's me again talking. See, that's the delay, by the way. If anybody's wondering, there's no 30-second delay. There's maybe 5-second delay between what's actually being said and what's I'll pin this one. Oh fuck. No, I'll click it. I'm gonna click it instead of pin it. Okay. Denali, Mike, you made it another 5 days without smoking? That's awesome, dude. Great job. That's awesome. 5 days is great. 1 day is great. 2 days is great. An hour is great. Making it without one cigarette, that's actually really important too. Good job. You can smoke on Friday if you want. I know y'all will be mods. It's not that you're good. And remember, I used to smoke a pack a day. Oh. See, nicotine treats ADHD, right? The nicotinic receptors are very well established to help treat ADHD. So I wasn't diagnosed when I smoked cigarettes. I only smoke weed now, but when I smoked cigarettes, I didn't realize why they were so effective for me, but it's the nicotine, you know. I've told you guys this story before when I bought nicotine gum because I thought, well, you don't want to smoke again, but I want nicotine because apparently it treats ADHD. And but I didn't read the instructions. Little Aries of me. And I just chewed away on the gum and fucking got myself sick. because that's not how you do that. She's a maker. Again, we're really barely just getting started, but thank you for being here. You did clock in or cock in. Thank you for that. Appreciate that from all of you guys. Appreciate all of you being here. I love all the conversation. Oh, my Uncrustable is almost done. Almost done. Almost. You can feel it when it's done, you know? And yeah, Lisa's right. HR is not for the employee. HR works for the company. They never work for you. Don't trust HR.
Oh, it looks like you've already called and asked about the quash options, but you didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, because I just didn't have the money right at the end.
All right, well, talk to Mr. Feldman, who I think was assigned as your attorney at some point there.
Okay,
You can't
Thank
get
you.
that taken care of.
I'll take care of it. I promise.
Yeah, you need to get that taken care of because Judge Bethue will definitely give me an earful if I let.
That's true, Lisa, but I have had bad union experiences as well. Did you see them like this, Beverly? I personally think I have upped the stock of Uncrustables. Here's the thing about unions. I think if you had somebody like me on a union, oh, you might get some shit done. But it really depends on who you got in charge, because I've had unions literally fail me before. So that's a totally other story. Uncrustable is not a sponsor. Thank you, Jonathan. Push Up Bra should be a sponsor. Can we get a bra sponsor for me? I'd love that.
Let you out and didn't require that, right?
Yeah, I'll do it. I promise.
All right. I'll see you on October 2nd by Zoom.
Yep.
All right. Take care.
Let me check yourself. Mr. Anderson, coming up. What I'm seeing on the chart.
Here, this is Mr. Anderson, Ian Anderson, excuse me, cause number 3A05075560. This is also an allegation of theft in the third degree. This is from an incident date of June 25th of 2023. I had the opportunity to speak with him again about the maximum penalty for the charge. We also discussed those constitutional rights he has at the stage of the proceeding. He's also indicating no additional questions, and so we are prepared to move forward with the arraignment.
All right. Mr. Anderson, good morning.
Morning.
Is Ian C. Anderson your true name?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Pimentel told me she went over a lot of information with you this morning, including your constitutional rights. I need to confirm that you understood it all.
Okay.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Pimentel.
We'll acknowledge receipt of the complaint, waive formal reading, and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
Not guilty plea will enter. The court has previously made a determination of probable cause. What is the city's request with regard to release and conditions?
Excuse me, the city's not requesting bail at this time. The city is asking for standard conditions along with do not return to the Home Depot.
Fucking Home Depot
Ms.
again.
Pimentel?
There's no objection to those conditions. He would also like to be considered for court-appointed counsel. He's indicating he's not currently employed at this time.
All right. Mr. Anderson, I am going to release you on your personal recognizance on the following conditions. You need to notify the court in person or in writing of any change of address, have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause, make an appointment with your attorney and make it to that appointment. They can't help you if you're not talking to them, right? Make it to your court dates, which I'm going to give you in just a moment. Have
Okay.
no contact with the Home Depot, okay?
Okay.
With regard to court-appointed counsel, based on the representation from Ms. Pimentel, I will make a preliminary finding that you do qualify for court-appointed counsel. It is only a preliminary finding. In the paperwork you're going to receive from the court will be an affidavit for you to complete that asks about your income, your assets, and your expenses. I need you to complete that for me because without it, I don't actually have a legal basis for granting you court-appointed counsel, and I might have to reverse my decision and charge you attorney's fees. Pretty sure you don't want that to happen, so please get me that affidavit, okay? All right. With that, I'm going to set this matter for pretrial on October 5th at 2:30 in the afternoon. That will be in person at the Bothell Municipal Court, okay?
Okay.
Your trial date will be the November trial term. But again, your next court date in person at the Bothell Municipal Court at 2:30 in the afternoon on October 5th. Okay?
Okay, okay.
All right. We'll
Is
see
it
you
possible,
then.
is it possible to do a Zoom call?
Is there a reason you need to do a Zoom call?
Transportation is a little tough
Transportation and my hair. I have a hair appointment, sir or ma'am.
for me right now, and I'm just got housing that's coming in Seattle. So,
And Your Honor, he indicates he's actually working with Reach. They are helping him and assisting him with that, but it does sound they're making some progress with the housing situation.
All right. Given that representation, I will allow that you can appear by Zoom. So I will move that to October 2nd at 2:30 by Zoom. Okay.
okay,
Um,
thank you, Your Honor.
but make sure you have the ability to appear by Zoom,
I do,
including video. This court requires video. Okay.
I do.
All right. So I'll see you on October 2nd at 2:30 on Zoom. All right.
All right, sir. Wait, you check yourself, please. All right, go ahead, have a seat, please.
Thank you.
And the next matter to address is Sean Friend. That's cause number 3A06688072. Looks like what was actually filed by the city, count 1 is displaying a weapon, count 2 is the misdemeanor VEXA allegation of possessing a controlled substance. Again, I had the opportunity to go over the maximum penalties with him. We also discussed the constitutional rights he has at this stage of the proceedings. He's also indicated no questions, or hopefully I've been able to answer those at this point. And so we are prepared to move forward with the arraignment.
Good morning, Mr. Friend.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Is Sean Michael Friend your true name?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor. Sorry.
Either one works. Ms. Pimentel just told me that she went over quite a bit of information with you this morning, including your constitutional rights. Did you understand everything?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Pimentel.
And we'll now proceed of the complaints, waive formal reading, and enter pleas of not guilty as to both counts.
Not guilty, please.
Okay, what did we determine was the time frame for the Uncrustables in the bra? I can't remember. It's feeling good, but I'm not sure.
Will enter. Court has had an opportunity to review the police reports. It did make a finding of probable cause with regard to the possession of controlled substance. Ms. Greenwood, I will hear from you with regard to the unlawful display, specifically the intent requirements.
Your Honor, I'll need a moment.
He looks like he could rock some eyeliner.
Just for clarification, my reading of the statute is that the intent to intimidate is an or. So the second portion of that, the warrants alarm for the safety of other persons. So the manifest an intent to intimidate, or that warrants alarm for the safety of other persons. I don't think the intent component goes in that regard.
And I agree, Your Honor. And he did display this weapon. I believe it was in a bathroom, and I believe it was observed by a minor child who reported that to his friend's mother, I think, at the time.
So I guess I should have been more clear. My concern is that the child indicated that Mr. Friend was in a stall, and so I wasn't clear that he was actually intentionally displaying this to anyone.
Hold on. God fucking damn it. It's so predictable that I don't pay attention when I need to pay attention. Oh, don't creep in bathrooms, guys. Also, United States and Canada, you guys, you don't have enough. You have too big of cracks in the doors of the bathrooms. In Europe, that's not how that is. It's weird. He looks a bit creepy. I must say that. In my opinion, allegedly.
I don't know that he was in a stall. And one moment I'll need to bring that up as well. I know that another portion in the report the girlfriend indicated that he had, was concerned that somebody had observed the.
Okay, before this gets weirder, Denali, Mike, were you saying my OnlyFans was nice? I mean, you didn't hear that, YouTube Daddy. Also, I'm feeling critically seen right now because 1000%. What I used to do was like take pictures of myself in the bathroom, but it was locked. Okay, it's not like somebody else could walk in. Gosh.
Weapon in the bathroom and had tried to pass it off to her. I'm sorry, I will need to bring up the report. I don't have it with me. Was concerned that somebody had observed the weapon in the bathroom and had tried to pass it off to her. I'm sorry, I will need to bring up the report. I don't have it with me.
And there are a
Whose
number of
weapon?
offenses available to the city, but the city has chosen this as the offense to proceed on.
Your Honor, there were some, at this point, we need some additional investigation regarding the school area to confirm that that was actually a school function and that we can charge under that, and also anything we need some, I think, some additional supplemental on the no permit, although he is not of an age where a permit, he would be allowed to have a permit.
It did strike me that there were also 2 felonies available, which is the unlawful possession because he is underage, and the possession of a stolen firearm, as it appears that firearm was reported as stolen.
That's correct.
Very, very heavy felony penalties.
And the city will be, I think, is essentially we will be adding some additional charges. I think we just need some supplemental documentation and investigation, which we're actually in the process of doing right now. So
is the city asking me to make a finding of probable cause based on the fact that an individual did see the firearm in the bathroom, and that by that presumption, since probable cause is a very low standard, that you believe that there is sufficient there?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Ms. Pimentel, any response?
And Your Honor, I apologize. I would also note that the report indicates that the 12-year-old son indicated that the man in the bathroom was waving a gun around, which doesn't strike me as something that's furtive or something that's he was potentially trying to hide.
My concern was that it appeared he was in a stall, and it did not sound like I don't know how the child saw, is I guess the question.
I don't think it's one way or the other.
Through the gaps, or if it was something that was open and apparent, but that's something I guess for future discussion. Ms. Pimentel, I'm sorry, any response from you?
The way that I read the statute, I don't, and the police report, I don't.
All right.
I did not think that the court would not find probable cause, given that threshold. Again, I agree that there are other things that could be charged, but certainly that's something that's up to the city.
All right. So I will make finding of probable cause, again, because it is a very low burden for the city, but do have concerns. All right. What is the city's request with regard to release and conditions?
Your Honor, the city is not posting any bail in this matter. Mr. Friend does not have any criminal history to date, nor does he have any warrant history. The city is asking, however, for an abstain condition based on the possession of charges, as well as they do not possess firearms or dangerous weapons as conditions of release.
All right. Mr. Friend, I am going to release you on your personal recognizance on the following conditions. Notify the court in person or in writing of any change of address. It's very simple. We're going to mail all notices to you. If you don't get one and you need to be in court and you don't make it to court because you didn't get it, a warrant will issue for your arrest, and we end up talking like this again. So make sure we have a good mailing address. Have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. Make an appointment with your attorney, make it to that appointment. They can't help you if you're not talking to them, right? Make it your court dates, which I'm going to give you in just a moment. You will not possess, control, or consume, or have under your control any controlled substances without a validly issued prescription in your name, and you will not possess any firearms or dangerous weapons. All right. With regard to court-appointed counsel, I'm sorry, Ms. Pimentel, did you believe he would qualify?
He's working full-time, Your Honor. I think he hasn't made that decision yet. I did indicate the court would give him that financial affidavit if he did choose to go that direction, or obviously understands he's free to hire an attorney at any time.
All right, Mr. Friend, so it will, the affidavit will be part of the paperwork that you receive. It's the one that asks about your income, your assets, and your expenses. If you wish to be considered for court-appointed counsel, you'll need to fill that out and get it back to the court. If you are intending to hire counsel, you don't need to fill that out, okay? But that is your means of requesting court-appointed counsel. With regard to court dates, I'm going to set this matter. You indicate you're working full-time. What shift do you work?
8.
I start Monday at 8. Denali, Mike, Orlando is end of September. The meetup that I am going to meet Mikey from Credence and Mikey is on the 26th, which I think is a Tuesday. I get there a couple days ahead of time, and I'm staying for a couple weeks because I am so blessed to have wonderful friends down there who want me to come and stay and who are willing to have me. And I am going to be working from down there. We're going to do a lot of things. So, but yes, I will be in Orlando from, I think, about the 22nd of September till like into October. Maybe like the 13th or something, the 12th. Anyways, please make sure that you've clocked in for your shift. You've hit the like button for this video, you guys. I would love to have a 500 sub celebration in Florida. I don't know if that's going to happen. That might be just asking too much. We're coming up to 300 here, but I think we might be able to make it to 500. And I would love to do that. We have some really fun things planned for Florida. I'm going to be live streaming a lot from Florida. They're going to be more vlog styles, less court, just me, but in Florida on location, doing fun things. Where in Florida? In Orlando, Florida. I'm excited about it. Very, very. Yeah, we're going to a strip club. A 500 sub strip club celebration. Yeah. Also, I found that karaoke place. I'm still looking for a mechanical bull. Oh, Sashina, you should be getting subs every day. I've absolutely listed you on my channel, and I hope that you are getting subs. You deserve them. Oh. Yeah, I heard about the hurricane. I don't worry too much about that kind of stuff, you guys. We'll just let it go. Mike, you're gonna be showing your feet? Isn't that Patreon only content? I can't believe you're gonna do that. I had an idea. If you only have a few people that arrive, maybe you could do drawings of everybody on a little whiteboard. That would be a very fun little takeaway gift, like an in-person NFT. Have I ever been through a fucking hurricane? No. I've never even been through a winter in Canada. I live in like the fake part of Canada. It's right in the States. You're a giver. I believe that. I think you're a giver. I do. Credence and Mikey with the OnlyFans content. You have an OnlyFans too, Mikey? You should tell me about it. I'll link it for you. No, you're not allowed to link it, but there is a link tree to mine. Loud Elvis, when I get to 2 subs, you'll plan on content for 2024. The storm will turn north, KH. We're going to go dancing in Florida, right, KH? I want to go dancing for sure. Denali Mike, come into the Discord and drop your link. I respect the hustle. I'll tell you that. I respect the hustle. You're not going to shame anybody for being on OnlyFans in this chat at all. A stub fetish. Oh my God. Loud Elvis, you know that's a thing. Rule 34 of the internet. Does anybody know what Rule 34 is? Type it in. Type it into the chat. Every spaghetti model has it turning north. KH is completely talking about the weather. I am completely imagining women that have spaghetti as arms and who are dancing. Do you see how small this place is? I'm touching the ceiling right now. I'm not even wearing heels. I'm touching the ceiling. You miss rain, Abby. Rain is no, it's not really. It's needed. I get it. KT, you could do that too. Although actually I don't think you can. I think there's very strict rules about animals. So if you are talking about your pussy or your beaver sleeping and you're just like gonna just have straight on shots of it, that's a-okay. But if you're talking about a real cat, you can't do that. Weirdly enough. But I will give this to OnlyFans or OF or whatever we call them. They are much more clear about their rules than YouTube Daddy is. So there's that. Orlando Chiquita, don't worry about the hurricane. It hardly ever hits Orlando directly. Last one was Charlie in 2004. Wow. I was still in high school in 2004. And thank you again, Donna. I'm not worried. It wouldn't even stop me. I would just come anyways. Just come and help, I guess. I don't know. Just spread my KCC-ness around. Because Mikey might have got trip insurance. I didn't get trip insurance, so I'm just going. Lee is going north of Virginia. You say that like it means something to me. I don't know where Virginia is. I don't even know where that is. Like I've told you guys, I want one day in my house, when I've made it, I'm going to have those pull down maps that teachers had, and I can have all the world. I'm going to have all the maps. It's going to be beautiful. It's for lovers. Pretty much everything is north of Florida. Fair enough. I'm north of Florida still. All states have regions north of Florida. Well, we've talked about it. I personally live in the part of Canada that is more south than many US states. So, but it's not north of all but Alaska, Sashina. There is like where I live is literally dipped into the US. Mikey, as long as you say there's nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. Like I said, I'm coming anyways. I got plans. Oh, Virginia is for lovers. That's the state slogan. Oh dear. Canada touches Detroit. Canada touches a lot of things. KCC touches things too. Some of your favorite Canadian YouTubers are in the dippy part of Canada near Detroit. So, Mikey, you didn't get trip insurance, just your son did. You'll be coming no matter what. You'll be there. Hardcore. Ontario, I see. Again, is Lisa B here? Lisa B, if you're here, please identify yourself. Recently, Lisa B I was out for brunch. I remember this very, very, very clearly. I was out for brunch. Lisa B was in some other chat somewhere. I was looking in it and she was like, "What's the capital of New Jersey?" And I was like, I responded. I was like, "I think it's Trenton." And first of all, I laughed because I'm like, how much easier is it to type that in the chat than to just ask that, right? But then I was mostly impressed that I knew it. I was like, shit, it was Trenton. Oh my God. And I was like, I was impressed. I didn't have to look it up. I knew it, you know? And then I thought, why do I know that? Why do I know that? It's an odd thing to know, considering I can't visualize New Jersey on a map anywhere. But then I thought, I can't visualize anything anywhere. That's how my brain works. So that really doesn't count. I mean, I could probably do bunch. I do know world geography. Mikey says in his voice and with his fingers, I guess we would say, you're going to be in Orlando staying safe, staying hard, and staying tuned in Orlando. Very good, Mikey. I'm looking for a mall that has a Lush. Do you guys, you know what Lush is, right? Oh, we should do like am I smarter than a fifth grader? Hold on. What am I big for a second? We should do Are you smarter than a fifth grader type thing? Are you smarter than a Canadian who failed school? Lush the bath bombs. Yes, Lush the bath bombs. My absolutely favorite perfume in the whole entire world is from Lush, and you can't get it in Canada. You can only get like a solid version of it. And then, Lush does equal drunk, but no, I'm talking about the store Lush. Anyways, so if you go, I went to Lush today on my walk. We're still not at 17,000. I'm still mad. But anyways, I was, I went on my walk. I walked by Lush. They have the perfume I'm talking about, but it's not the same. And the ladies told me, they're like, if you want the good stuff, you got to go to the States. Okay. You have to head down to the States to get it. And so now, like, that's one of my main missions is to go to Lush and get my fucking vanilla-y perfume. Lush, not lust. I'm full of lust all the time. No, but seriously, vanilla-y perfume, oh my God. It's my favorite. They discontinue, apparently there's something in it that'll kill you. Donna's to the rescue. There's one in Millennia Mall, 10 miles away. Dude, I already walked 10 miles. No, not quite 10 miles, but will make it. Also, I have a driver's license. We're good. Lisa, your fave is Shalimar. Is that the perfume? They had one called American Dream that I literally looked at today for y'all. It didn't do it for me. It didn't. And I was not about to spend money on a product that I couldn't, like that wasn't the same. I was like, what did you take out of this that the Americans will let them have? It's like, I don't know, carcinogens or something like that. But it's what makes it makes it smell good. I've literally walked into boardrooms before and had people be like, what is that smell? And I'm like, oh, that's me. And they're like, it smells sort of like cookies. I'm like, it does. It's like cookies and love and sex and yeah. Florida is not I know, Karen. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to be on my best behavior. I'm very aware that it's not recreational. I know. But I just managed in Texas and I was really good. So, Sashina, are you going to bed? You've got it. You good. You Gouda girl. We love you. Tin Man, good night as well. We're sort of just getting started. We've literally maybe got halfway through. Is Shalimar a perfume? Okay, so when I was a kid, a young child, or a teenager even, I wasn't allowed to wear any perfumes. I wasn't even allowed, like if I went to the hairdresser and I got my hair done, and you know how they style it? Like they'll maybe like do some curls or I don't even know what they do. I don't know what they do. You know what they do though. Make it look nice. Nicer than this, right? But they put hairspray on it. If I would come home from a hairdresser, even spending a lot of money, I have a vape, Karen. I have a vape, Karen, but I'm not going to talk about it. My mom would immediately make me go shower. She'd be like, go wash it out. Wash it out. And just many times she would make me like take off whatever scent I was wearing. And so now I just love scents. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like a pure spite thing. I don't know. I operate well on spite. Spite and sexual harassment are like my two main motivators. It's very hard to explain to like bosses who are like, we sort of don't like those to like um, happen in the workplace. Yeah, oppositional defiance disorder, Jonathan. Diagnosed. But here's the thing, oppositional defiance disorder, or ODD, is only in children, and it becomes conduct disorder in adults, but only if you have the additional prerequisite of trouble with the law. I don't have that. I outgrew my ODD, or I like to think I outsmarted my oppositional defiance disorder. That's my theory on the subject. I do remember when my mom took me to a psychiatrist, very concerned because I was calling her by her first name. And like we would be in stores and she would be like, okay, it's time to go, Paisley. And I'd be like, get away from me, Karen. I don't know you. Leave me alone, Karen. And she'd be like, no, come on, it's time to go. And I'd be like, get the fuck away. Well, I wouldn't say get the fuck, but I'd say, Karen, leave me alone. Obviously, her name's not Karen, but it would fit so well. No offense, Karen. Melanie, your daughter had it. It's called, as an adult, the same symptomology plus interaction with the legal system equals conduct disorder. With children, it's called oppositional defiance disorder. And again, I personally believe there's oppositional defiance disorder, and then there's what I call a parenting mismatch. So when you have a child and a parent who are just fundamentally mismatched and at odds, you will get the effect of ODD, or oppositional defiance disorder. But my theory is that once that child is removed from the parental control, they may do well. And that is how I sort of differentiate as a completely untrained, non-professional. That's how I theorize you can tell the difference. So when you have a child who does well in other situations with authority from other places, but yet doesn't do well with that parent, that tends to scream parental mismatch. And as a parent, you shouldn't feel bad about that. There are children, like I was one of those kids. I probably would have done exceptionally well in a boarding school. I never got to go to boarding school. I dreamt of boarding school. That's where I wanted to go. Boarding school. But some parents would look at that as a fail, saying, oh, I sent my child to boarding school. I don't think that that's how we should look at it. Every situation, every parent and child is individual, and so requires its own analysis to see what the best thing would be. For me, I almost guarantee you, if I had been sent to a boarding school and went through my probably 12 to 18 at a facility, not a facility, but like a boarding school or whatever, my mom and I probably would have a way better relationship than we do now. Luckily for me, I had a boyfriend in high school whose parents were amazing and they took me on. So I basically found my own boarding school. It was his house. And his parents were amazing. They took me to Hawaii. They got me a job at the bank. They did all of these different things. So I was lucky enough to have that structure provided from somewhere else, but not everybody's like that. If you're a parent dealing with a child that has oppositional defiance disorder, ADHD, ODD, conduct disorder, or they're just a pain in the ass, know that you're not alone. You're not. Come talk about it. We'll talk to you about it. again, here's another funny thing just before we get back to court. When I was a kid, my mom would buy these books, right? She would buy, I remember specifically one called How to Speak to Your Child So They Will Listen. And I read the book. Okay, I'm maybe 7 years old and I'm reading these like self-help or like how-to books on how to parent your kid. And I would just like navigate around all the systems because I would read the book. So I knew what she was going to try. It was so funny. She just came to the edge of her rope. Oh, well, here. So I'll finalize the story. When she took me to the psychiatrist and I was calling her by her first name, the psychiatrist was like, that is so precocious. And my mom was like, what? What are you talking about? It's annoying. It's horrible, in fact. They're like, no, no, no. It's super precocious. She's already differentiated between you as a mom and you as a person. That's very advanced. And my mom was like, I don't fucking care. I don't want her to call me that in public. And I was just like, well noted. That's what we'll be calling her in public from now on. You know, I've already also said my daughter, who's 15 years old right now, 1,000% better kid than I ever was. Just literally, mm, just a way better person than I ever was. I don't know why, but she's just breath of fresh air. Great kid, you know. Loud Elvis, I hear you. Like when you dream of boarding school, something's a little fucked up.
No, 7 to 3:30.
All right, so I'm going to set this for a video calendar then just to accommodate, and is it Monday through Friday that you work? Okay, so to accommodate your work schedule, I will set this for Zoom calendar so that you can do it on a break instead of having to be at court. So I'll set that to the October 2nd at 2:30 by Zoom. Your trial will be in the November trial term. But again, your next court date, and you need to be there, is October 2nd at 2:30 by Zoom. Okay? So we'll see you then.
Will I get notices in the mail for when that is again?
You will, and you should also receive them from the jail when you're released today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. Take care.
All right, sir. Let me check or something. Sorry, coming up. What was nice?
This is Mr. Harvey. If we can address that matter next, there are two cause numbers. They are separate incident dates. 3A0169-263 is an allegation of criminal trespass in the first degree. That's from June 18 of 2023. 3A0169-268 is an allegation of theft in the third degree, and that is from an incident date of July 16 of 2023. I had the opportunity to go over the maximum penalties with him. Again, we discussed the constitutional rights he has at this stage of the proceeding, indicating no additional questions at this time, and so we are prepared to move forward with the arraignments.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Harvey.
Good morning.
I need to confirm that Michael Matthew Harvey is your true name. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Pimentel just told me that she went over quite a bit of information with you this morning, including your constitutional rights. Did you understand all of it?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Pimentel.
Your Honor, we will acknowledge receipt of the complaints, waive formal reading, and enter pleas of not guilty on his behalf.
Not guilty pleas will enter. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause as to both cause numbers. What is the city's request with regard to release and conditions?
And the city's requesting $3,000 on each, for a total of $6,000. Mr. Harvey has, looks like 35 lifetime warrants as well as the recent
35 lifetime warrants. Whatever way you want. Thank you for dropping a like. Appreciate that, guys. If you're just getting here, please clock in for your shift. I appreciate it.
2023 warrants out of Bothell as well as Marysville. Mr. Harvey, I'm sorry, in addition, the city would be requesting on case number ending in 263 that he does not return to the QFC, on case number ending in 268 that he does not return to the PCC grocery store.
And I'm sorry, you show.
I was in custody during
Hang-
those court
hang
dates. Okay.
Say, I don't see 2023 failures to appear. I'm sorry, except for on the arraignments on these matters. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, as well as the Marysville matter on 8/14.
And all right, Mr. Harvey, you were indicating that on you were in custody. Is that on the felony matters that have been pending?
No, I don't have any felony matters pending.
I should say that, I'm sorry, not pending. I'm mistaken in that word, but
Oh,
look, you had some stuff in Snohomish County.
yeah, I had a DOC violation that I was doing, which is why I missed the court dates.
All right.
So I was in a violation during that time.
All right. And I'm just taking a really quick look here.
The Marysville warrant has been recalled and an out of custody date has been set on that. He also indicated he's working with Sound Integrated Health, which is down in South. In regards to him getting into treatment, it sounds like he's already done an evaluation with them. And so he's hoping that he'll be able to do that if he is released from custody.
All right. All right, Mr. Harvey, I am going to take a chance. You have created quite a record of not showing up, but I'm going to be hopeful that I see that you actually contacted Marysville yourself to get that matter set and to get the one taken care of. So I'm just gonna see here. It looks like you may not have been aware of this warrant. So I will release you on your personal recognizance, but you are going to need to make it to your next court date, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to release you on these conditions. Notify the court in person or in writing of any change of address. Simple. I mail out summonses. If you don't get it, you don't know to be here. And then we end up having a conversation about why you weren't in court, and the city's arguments will be substantially stronger, right?
Yeah.
So make sure we have a good mailing address. Have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. Make an appointment with your attorney, make it to that appointment. They can't help you if you're not talking to them. Make it to your court dates, which I'm going to give you in just a moment. Have no contact with the PCC and I believe you said Safeway. Is that correct, Ms. Greenwood?
You're right. It's
Yes. I apologize. I forgot. So the QFC and the PCC. So no contact with those two. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You had a question.
Just really quickly, will I have an attorney that I'll be working with that way? Because I plan on getting treatment here fairly recent or pretty soon. So as soon as I get the bed day. So I'm just wondering, is there an attorney that I'll be working with that can be in communication with you guys?
Let me ask Ms. Pimentel a couple questions and I'll address that immediately. So Ms. Pimentel, with regard to court appointed counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, he's requesting that. He's not currently employed.
All right. So based on that, Mr. Harvey, I am going to make a preliminary appointment of Ms. Pimentel's office. We will give you the contact information for that as long as there's no conflict for her office. And so with that, but we will definitely give you contact information for court appointed counsel. In the paperwork you're going to receive is going to be an affidavit for you to complete that asks about your income, your assets, and your expenses. I need you to get that back to me because without it, I don't actually have a legal basis for granting you court appointed counsel. Although I was just trying to see if somebody else had recently made that determination, but based on that, if you can get me that document, that way I can make that a permanent decision, not preliminary and we can go forward. I imagine you are going to qualify based on, I think, the information that I see here. Yeah. So just get me that affidavit. But with that, Ms. Pimentel's office is going to be appointed and we'll set this matter. You said you're going to be potentially going into inpatient. Is that what you're planning?
Yeah.
All right. So for that, in case the facility will allow, I will set the matter to the Zoom calendar on October 2nd at 2:30. So you can appear by Zoom if you're in treatment. And your trial date will be in the November trial term. But again, on October 2nd at 2:30 by Zoom. Keep in touch with Ms. Pimentel so that she knows, or with her office so they know what's going on if you go into treatment, so that we can coordinate if that needs to be done for Zoom. Also just so that we know what's happening, because if nobody knows where you are, then warrants issue, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that should conclude this matter. Again, that should be in the paperwork that you get from the jail, as well as we'll mail it out. But if you didn't get it when you get out of the jail, because sometimes they don't always give you guys all your paperwork, contact the court. We'll get it out to you again, or you can even come by the court to get her contact information. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Harvey.
Thank you.
Check yourself, please. Are showing up? There, please.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Mr. Chernick, there is a pretrial matter 22-97. There are also 3 arraignment matters that we need to address. Cause number 3A0518686 is an allegation of driving while license revoked first degree. 3A0518687 is an allegation of making a false statement to a public servant. Those are from the same incident date of July 30 of 2023. Additionally, the city did file 3A0344165, which is an additional allegation of drug loitering, but that is back from April 14 of 2023. I had the opportunity to speak with him. We went over the maximum and potential minimum penalties on the driving charge. We also discussed all the constitutional rights he has. At this stage of the proceeding, he's indicating no questions, and so we are prepared to move forward with the arraignments.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Chernick. I was just trying to see. Oh, okay. I see what's going on there. All right. So Mr. Chernick, you're here for arraignment. So I need to confirm that Andre Chernick is your true name.
It is.
And Ms. Pimentel just told me she went over quite a bit of information with you this morning, including your constitutional rights. Did you understand all of it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Ms. Pimentel.
Mayor will acknowledge receipts of the complaints, waive formal reading, and enter pleas of not guilty as to the new arraignment matters.
All right, not guilty pleas will enter. Court has previously had an opportunity to review the police reports and did make findings of probable cause. What is the city's request with regard to release and conditions?
Yeah, the city is requesting that the $2,000 bail amount be maintained on all these matters for a total of $8,000. Mr. Chernick has 32 lifetime warrants, as well as a number of warrants in 2023. Actually, they're all on the Bothell cases. In addition, Your Honor, as far as conditions, additional conditions on the arraignment matters on cases, case ending in 165, the city's requesting a SOTA order. I'm not sure if he actually has one on the pretrial matter. The city is requesting standard conditions on the remaining 2 arraignment matters.
Ms. Pimentel.
There is no objection to standard conditions. I did not see an original SOTA order had been issued on the pretrial matter, but I did explain to him that it would likely be ordered in regards to the new matter, and indicated the court would give him a copy of that map as well as the order so that he can take a look at that. There's no objection to additional standard conditions. Mr. Chernick indicated that he did not receive that mail at the place in which he normally does, but obviously we'll be looking for any future correspondence from the court to appear at his future court appearances.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
I apologize for not showing up. I tried before. If you look at my history, I always came before.
And I tried so hard, even if it was a video court, I tried very hard. And it's my birthday coming up. Please, I'm asking you, give me a chance, please. I'm asking you. I'm going to Ideal Option. I'm thanking Lord for giving me this opportunity to, get my addiction straight. I'm getting my Ideal Option today, and I'm on Subutex or whatever. So please give me a birthday present. I'm asking you as a human being.
So I don't give birthday presents.
Did he just ask for a birthday present? Hold on. He did. You're kidding me. Sir.
For giving me this opportunity to, get my addiction straight. I'm getting my Ideal Option today, and I'm on Subutex or whatever. So please give me a birthday present. I'm asking you as a human being.
So I don't give birthday presents. So that's not going to happen. The question is, you just pointed out to me, and I'm looking right now.
And just to clarify, he is now on Subutex through the jail, through Ideal Options. They will give him the appointment to follow through if he is released. So he does understand that he wants.
Can we get an F in the chat for this guy's birthday, please? F in the chat for this guy's birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, F in the chat, please.
To keep doing that, which it sounds like has been beneficial, then he needs to follow through with that appointment with Ideal Options.
Yeah, Mr. Chernick, I was just looking at the docket from the pretrial, and you were very good about showing up for court until this last hearing.
It's just I've been breaking up with my girlfriend. I've been going through this mess. I've been going through a lot, and it's just I'm a human being, I'm asking you for one last chance, please.
So I'm going to tell you, their life is difficult, right?
Ugh, tell me about it, Judge. Preach. Hold on, did he just fucking say, I broke up with my girlfriend? Let's hear him say it again.
With Ideal Options.
Yeah, Mr. Chernick, I was just looking at the docket from the pretrial, and you were very good about showing up for court until this last hearing.
It's just I've been breaking up with my girlfriend. I've been going through this mess. I've been going through a lot, and it's just I'm a human being, I'm asking you for one last chance, please.
So I'm going to tell you, their life is difficult, right? We all face difficult things in our lifetime.
Preach it, Judge. Preach. We do face difficult things in our lifetime, you guys. Or unless you think he may be an alien.
You need, and I'm glad you're on the Subutex, because I want you to practice not turning to your addiction when those things happen, because that.
Oh my God, that's so difficult, Judge. What a fucking thing to say. Could you just go ahead and practice not being an addict? Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. That's not easy. Okay? My addiction is attention. I've streamed every day for the last fucking month. Do we wonder if I want attention? No, we don't.
That's what gets you in trouble, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. I'm going to do some stuff here, Mr. Chernick. I am going to release you because of the history that you had with me of showing up to court.
Thank you so much, Ron. I appreciate you.
Here's the deal.
Birthday present came
I want
true.
you said you're going to go to Ideal Options, right? I want you to provide proof of that to the court that you've made a contact with them and are proceeding. I don't need any other documentation. I just need proof that you make your appointments. I want that filed with the court with.
He's crying. Also, thank you guys. Look at the attention I'm getting. No, seriously. I'll post it. I've already posted this maybe in the Discord, but I'll post it again in the music of the night part of my Discord. Let me look and see if I posted it recently. You guys know yeah, I did. It's like the second to last one. Go listen to Art is Dead. It's pretty much a sums up of me.
Within 2 weeks of your release. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to set this for pretty quickly as soon as I can for an in-person pretrial on all of these matters. Okay.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank
See
you.
you in court.
Thank
Okay.
you. God bless. Remember, you gave me chips in the parking lot before, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I remember that was very nice of you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
That was because your car wasn't running and you'd been there all day, as I recall. So, all right. With regard to your court dates, Madam Clerk, what's the earliest in-person date that I can give Mr. Chernick? Do we have anything before October 5th?
We only have September 28th at 1:30.
All right, September 28th at 1:30. Mr. Chernick, I want you to come back. That's going to be pretty quick, but I want you to have done a lot of stuff. You're going to have met, you're going to do, remember my conditions, notify the court in person or in writing of any change of address, have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. Big one, make an appointment with your attorney and make it to that appointment, right? If they know what's going on, they can make representations to the court, right? But if they don't know what's happening, they're kind of flying blind. You don't want that. You want them to know what's going on. Make sure you make those appointments. Have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. Make it to your court dates, which I just gave you, that September 28th date. You're going to be there. You're going to be early, right?
Yes.
You're going to be bothering Miss Pimentel at 1 o'clock saying, let's be ready to be the first people taken on the calendar. All right. First person. With regard to other conditions, I am going to issue the soda order. All right, Mr. Chernick, that means that you will not be able to go to any of the places indicated on the map. If you are there, it doesn't matter how legitimate the reason. If you're there, law enforcement can contact you and potentially arrest you on a new charge.
First of all, Mayor, I will race anybody running because I was a track star in high school. Have I talked about this before? I'm sure I have. I absolutely have. But what for somebody want to become a mod tonight? To become a mod, name the 2 sports in track and field that I did. Oh, who's gonna do it? Also, Erica, are you the only alien though? Are you really? And would an alien say that? And Lisa, I did not have any girls when I ran. If you checked out my OnlyFans, you would know that. Erica, no, I did not do the 400 meters. That is a lot. Oh, Melanie, that is very close because I did do the hurdles and I did do 100 meters. Oh, and I did the 4x100 too. Oh my God, you guys. All you guys want to be mods? Oh, okay. So I did the 100 meters and I was the island champion for 100 meters. And I was also the island champion for long jump. Long jump. My longest jump was 4.56 meters, which is very far. I also did hurdles, but hurdles I was not very good at. Like, I'm trying to do a hurdle exercise right now. When I was like in middle and high school, I went to track camp at the university. Amazing. I loved it. Yeah, so who got that? Who. I can't run, but so back in the day, I truly believed that I could not run more than 100 meters. Okay. For some reason in my mind, I didn't correlate the fact that I played soccer and yeah, you're right, Jonathan. Nobody got long jump, no wrenches, but somebody should do the math on 4.56 meters. Okay. But anyways, so for some reason never made the correlation between like, oh, I'm a distance runner, but I hate it, versus like I'm a sprinter naturally. So it wasn't until years later when I started to run that I remember one day I like turned on the treadmill and I just started running and I like fucking 14.96 feet, Jonathan. That's pretty far. That's almost 15 feet. Yeah, soccer is definitely my sport. Also, I want to be playing soccer again. I probably should be fucking starting a season right now, but I'm not. But anyways, I would love to play. Oh my God, I'm over 35. I could play an over 35 women's league right now. Holy shit. Oh, that one hurts a little bit. Mm, that hurts. That one hurts a little bit. Okay. Anyway, so it wasn't until later in life when I got on a treadmill one day and I was like, I'm just gonna go. And I had my knees taped up. It was like after I'd gone to the physiotherapist and he showed me how to tape my knees up. And so my knees were like A-okay. And I ran and I ended up running like 5K or something like that. And I remember being just like beyond impressed with myself. Like, what? Girl, I thought you could only run 100 meters. You just ran 5 kilometers. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lisa, I need my knees taped up good. Good. I have to. I'm very double jointed. It's why my ribs dislocated for 5 years and I didn't notice it. I had this lump on my chest that was a rib poking out of my fucking chest and I never noticed it. And then I went to this chiropractor for my knee. I walk in and he's like, "Oh, so you're here for your ribs?" And I was like, "No. What are you talking about? I'm here for my knee." He's like, "Well, your ribs are dislocated." And I was like, "Excuse me? I don't think so, sir. I'm quirky. I have a lump on my chest like this. It's my thing." And then he's like, "Well, I'm going to do an adjustment for you." And he did a very painful adjustment for me. And I kid you not, the deep breath that I took after he did that adjustment, I cried afterwards. I was like, oh my God, my ribs were dislocated. Holy shit, I can breathe now. Like, it was incredible, the difference. And he taught me a lot of things. That physiotherapist I went to quite a bit. Was it a chiro? I went to a physio and a chiropractor. I used to joke, I'm like, I pay this guy like $50 a week to fucking hug me. Because when you get a chiropractor adjustment and they give you that little hug, I'm like, I gotta pay some guy $50 a week. But anyway, seriously, I'd had that bump on my chest for years. And I realized, I was like, oh my God, that's true. And subsequently, once my physiotherapist taught me how to use kinesiology tape to like tape me up, it's so much better. I do want to play soccer again. I miss soccer so much. I got red cards a lot in soccer because I'm not exactly skilled in soccer, but I'm fast as fuck. So I used to play sweeper, and if people ran away from me, well, I'm gonna take them down. I have videos of that actually. Okay, let's keep watching. Football court cases. Yes, Jonathan. Let's just keep diversifying.
Charge. All right. So if you're at Fred Meyer doing your grocery shopping, they can arrest you. All right.
What can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What if I'm gonna go, like, for example, through my brother, like I go to church on Sundays, once in a while, and we go to like what if we're just gonna be passing by it, and then my brother will get pulled over, for example, and I'll be in the car with them. I get in trouble too?
So being on the road will not be a problem. It's going to the addresses indicated. All right.
Okay.
So if you're with your brother and your brother pulls into Fred Meyer and you're in the car, yeah, you could get arrested there. So
Okay.
you need to make sure you know where it is that you are not able to go, and if there's a legitimate reason you need to be able to go to that address, you're gonna let Ms. Pimentel know so that she can make a motion for me to grant you permission. Because if that doesn't happen, then law enforcement can arrest you, all right?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate you. God bless you.
All right, with that, we'll see you on, I guess, did I cover everything, Ms. Greenwood?
Yes, Your Honor.
God bless you.
All right, so with that, Mr. Chernick, I want to see you on September 28th with information about how fabulously things are going with Ideal Options, right?
Thank you, Your Honor. God bless you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody.
Double God
Take care.
bless.
Thank you. God bless you all, everybody. Thank you.
Triple God bless. Triple God bless.
The
That means
last
something
matter is
extra in the
Miss
States?
Kim's, Your Honor, and it's, I can just get him up right now. Not sure if she's available.
She was, oh, there she is. All right. I have a Jacob Herbert. Is that this case or?
No, this is Mr. Stanislav.
Okay, so I had Blandon Griffin and,
This is the last matter transported.
oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. This is Mr. Pavliuk.
Pavlikov, Mr. Stanislav. He's Jamie Kim for defense. Your Honor, he was sentenced back on January 10th of this year in order to report to probation and file proof of chemical dependency assessment. He indicates that soon after that, he went back to his folks in South Carolina and did a 3 months residential treatment. And then he was visiting his aunt, and 4 days ago, that's when he was arrested on this matter. He says that he should have the paperwork from that residential treatment from South Carolina. And we just exchanged a good contact information. Your Honor, I did review probation report, and that seems reasonable if he hasn't done anything, but he says that he has done quite a bit of treatment. But he does apologize for not reporting to probation. He was just focused on getting out of this place, away from the area that gives him trouble. But that's his position. He is requesting Your Honor to release him so he can report to probation by phone and file paperwork.
What's happening with the Superior Court matter? Looks like
Right,
they served the warrant. Go ahead.
I see that he is, he does have a pending case and that he does have a hearing coming up. I don't believe he's held on it.
I got released on it 2 days ago.
They released you?
Yeah, they released me on the Superior Court and the Everett Admissible Court. I thought the Bothell Everett Inwood had both of all of those going combined for the same exact matter that I'm here for. So they released me on that one too.
And we briefly discussed that warrant out of Burlington. He should be working on quashing that warrant out of Burlington. I also see that he has nothing new, no criminal activity this year. So that says something about how he's trying to stay out of trouble.
Well, if he's been in South Carolina, it wouldn't appear on our radar. So
Hopefully he doesn't have anything there.
I don't.
Ms. Greenwood, what is the city's position?
Your Honor, absent any proof that he was in South Carolina, the city's in agreement with the probation report, would be requesting the 15 days. I also would, when he's in custody, regardless, he did fail to report to probation, failed to report for a review hearing. So I think at the very least, the city would be requesting to revoke 10 days.
Ms. Kim, do you want to respond to that?
I don't have any further argument. I would just, request the same thing to release him. He was booked on September 1st, so he does have 6
Credit.
days credit? Yeah.
Yeah, credit for 6 days. So if I gave him 10 days, he would be getting out anyway, right?
I believe it's 7 out of 10, so you would have to do one more day.
Your
All right.
Honor, can
Yep.
I ask- I mean, as soon as I get out, I can show her the paperwork that I was in rehab center and I have all the documents for it and everything.
All right. I appreciate that. This is what I'm going to do today, Mr. Pavlikov. I always mix up your name. I apologize, Mr. Pavlikov. I am going to find a willful violation and not communicating with your probation officer. Okay. I'm going to reserve with regard to the lack.
Hey, I have a question for you. Do you have any good TPOs for me? I haven't been grabbing the TPOs lately, but I would love to do a TPO soon. Even if you've done them before, just let me know if you got anything good. I could start. I only have one computer. It's so hard to record everything and to like do shit. But if you ever get anything that you think you'd like to see me react to, you know where to get me. Also, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to KLF, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because she got a great channel and great long form content. Basically, what I wish I could do, Kay does. Okay? I am not organized like that. But I have linked Kay in my channels. I called them court adjacent channels, and she is definitely court adjacent. She's like straight in there. I know, Mayor, you are. And I tend to try and go over there as well. I know most of the people here are, but I like to remind people because maybe one day I'll get super popular and people will be watching this and they'll be like, what is she talking about? Oh my God, I should go check it out. What you should go check out is K_EL_EFF, KLF. Seriously, she does have amazing sagas, but I've been lazy since I got demonetized. If you guys have noticed, I haven't really been doing a lot of TPOs and stuff. I'd like to get back into maybe like a TPO of the week or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Again, Kay, your research is impeccable. I just wonder if you have that court archive. I'll share mine. If you show me yours, I'll show you mine. That sounds like a dangerous proposition, right?
Lack of treatment. I'm going to indicate that as a result of that, I'm going to impose, for failing to communicate with your probation officer, I'm going to impose 5 days in jail and give you credit for 5 days served. So you will be getting out today. All right.
Sure, Your Honor. Thank you.
But you still have the failure to do treatment hanging over your head. Okay. So I'm going to set that for a hearing.
I'll have a quick question on that one. If I provide paperwork that I was in treatment in South Carolina, do I still have to do treatment or?
It depends on what it says. I can't make that determination until I see the documents. All right.
Okay. And one more also thing. You know how they said that I have this case going congruent with Everett and Linwood? Do I have to, because I have to when I get out, I have to call and do the probation for Everett. Is that the same as Bothell, or it's completely two different things?
Yep. It's two different things.
That's where I was confused.
Different courts, different jurisdictions, so different probation officers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a probation appointment on September 12th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And is that going to be by phone or in person, Madam Clerk?
It's on the phone, Your Honor.
Okay, so that'll be by phone. We'll give you the paperwork so you have the phone number. You need to have that documentation to give to your probation officer at that time, okay? So you need to get on that right away because I am releasing you, so I expect you to move on that.
I have all the paperwork, so.
Very good. Well, it's like doing your homework and not turning it in if you don't give that to your probation officer, right?
I mean, in my head, I thought that when everything was going congruent, that I just had to report to Everett, and then Bothell had nothing to, so it was a mixture for me.
Okay, so make sure that Paige has that paperwork, okay? We're gonna give you her contact information again. And then I'm gonna set this matter for a review hearing. Are you going back to South Carolina soon?
I am gonna be going back within a month.
So if I set this to
To South
October
Carolina.
4th, will you still be here?
Does South Carolina want him?
October. Yeah, I'll still be here.
Okay, October 4th at 1:30 in person at the Bothell Municipal Court, all right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So meet with Paige on September 12th. That's
Did you see my face when she said that? Watch.
Bothell Municipal Court, all right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So meet with Paige on September 12th.
That's because if anybody's gonna mess up Paisley, like they think they know it, but they don't, Paige is the name that I got. So I, for some fucked up reason, respond to Paige. In my life, has anybody really called out Paisley like accidentally? No. We've told the one story about me being in Mexico that happening, but Paige, Paige, mayor, or sorry, whatever way you want. Welcome, by the way. I think I welcomed you earlier, but thanks for being here. Mayor wrote ahead of you, gamble all. Mayor's gambling. Everybody gambles here. That's okay. I literally pay money so you guys can gamble. I'm glad I welcomed you. Thank you. No, you can start Monday. No, but seriously, like, anyways. I love reading you guys' chats. They make me laugh every time. Sometimes I get distracted. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Med check, guys. It's almost been 3 hours. Time for a med check, which means take your meds. If you don't take meds, think about taking meds. If you don't take any at all, like literally, come down and tell us what that's like. We don't believe you. We don't believe you at all. Oh, also somebody who said I was good at dancing. No, I'm not. But I do a dance workout. So the moves that you're seeing is like my shitty attempt at doing my dance workout.
It's 5 days from now, okay?
Perfect.
All right. If you missed that, she's going to file another report with me that you missed it, and we're going to talk about more jail time, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you want that to happen. All right. Let's move forward. All right. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll see you on October 4th.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you, Honor.
All right, Ms. Kim, that was your last matter. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I will possibly see you this afternoon.
I don't think so, but have a nice day.
Bye-bye. All right.
Ouch. Oh, what a fucking shutdown. I don't think so, Your Honor. No. Also, good night, MB. Thank you for being here. As usual, you're a great supporter of the channel. Appreciate you. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you being here. Have a good sleep. Let's see what we got in the last 2 minutes of this, and then we'll see where we go. We'll see how I feel. That's pretty much it. We'll see.
Next matter to address that was not transported is Mr. Griffin, and that's cause number 22-41. Mr. Griffin is in King County Jail. We have been trying to get him now for a little while. I think we need to make it a priority to have him transported tomorrow.
All right. All right, so I'll set that over to tomorrow, noting that it should be a priority given how long we've been waiting. Oh, he's been refusing transport, it looks like. At least he did at one point.
Yes, that's correct. Although be it, we need to try and address all King County transports tomorrow if we can.
All right.
F in the chat where you guys.
Jacob Herbert, cause number 3A0426052. That was on for arraignment.
I missed it.
Looks like he was not available for transport. Cities, I guess, any information, Ms. Pimentel?
No, Your Honor, that's a new booking.
I assumed you did not, but just giving you the opportunity. City's position.
Sid is asking, I believe, to hold him on $3,000, Your Honor. He has a couple of outstanding warrants, as well as looks like about 20 to 30 lifetime warrants. I didn't count them, but I'd say approximately at least 20 with 2 outstanding.
All right, so I will maintain that bail or set that bail amount. Is it maintaining on him?
I don't see that it was set. I know that that was the request from the city yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor, it was.
All
Thank you.
right, so maintain bail in the amount of $3,000, and we'll see him when we
Want
can
me to
get
keep
him
going?
here.
Okay.
Next matter on the calendar is Joseph Primo, cause number 3700.
Y'all already know I'm an addict of attention. All I need is a few F's in the chat, and I'm finding more court for us to watch.
06 on for pretrial. Sorry.
It's a similar situation. He has refused transport a few times from King County, but we do need to try it. We either need to try and get him, or we need to address potentially releasing him tomorrow. He's been in custody now for quite a while, unless he's being held on other things.
All right. So I will note that he's refusing transport and will,
Although, be it Your Honor, he did not refuse transport today. They just did not go pick him up.
okay. City's position, I guess.
City's requesting to maintain that bail, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll set it over one day and hopefully get him here tomorrow. All right. And I think that concludes the calendar unless I've missed someone.
Don't believe so.
All right. So see you at 1:30 and
Okay, you have to give me 2 minutes. Hold on. Pause screen. I'm finding more shit for us. Hold on. I'm addicted to attention too.
Well, yeah. All right, so we are back streaming live on YouTube. I'm going to call State of Georgia versus Dontavius Carr. There at the jail. If you were
Hold on, Judge. I was dancing. I was not listening. Oh my God. Fine, I will listen. I prefer to dance, but I will listen.
Dontavius Carr, just wave at me to confirm that. All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Carr, you are charged with 5 offenses. The first charge is malice murder, as warrant number 2022CW52014. Next charge is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That is warrant number 52015. The next charge is possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. That is warrant number 52016. The next charge is possession of a firearm by a felon. That is warrant number 52017. And then the fifth charge is cruelty to children in the third degree. That is warrant number 52018. Representing the state is Ms. Freeman, and representing Mr. Carr is Mr. Casio. And Ms. Freeman, you can call your witness.
Okay, before you do, Miss Freeman, I would like to say something. Here's a great example of just 1,000% proof that I do not prep for these things. I literally picked this out. Do you think I would have picked an M word? No, I wouldn't have. I would have picked something funny. Okay? The fuck? Also, I like her pearl necklace. Naughty.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Washington, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm that the testimony about to provide in the matter of State of Georgia versus Dontavious Carr will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
You can lower your
I do.
hand. Please tell us your name and how you're employed.
I'm Kitchen Court Chats. I would not say employed. Maybe something, I don't know, independently contracted. I think that's what we'll go with.
I'm Detective Brashawn Washington, College Park Police Department.
How long have you worked with the College Park Police Department?
4 years.
And sir, were you working with the College Park Police Department on May 2nd of 2022?
Yes, I was.
And on May 3rd of 2022, did you take out warrants for Dontavious Carr?
I did.
And was this for allegedly a murder that occurred on that May 2nd of 2023?
Yes.
From your investigation, Detective, please tell us what happened on May 2nd of 2022.
I received a call May 3rd about a person shot at 2001 Gobby Road, apartment.
Fucking don't. If you could just not just outline how shitty of a YouTuber
Once
I
I
am.
got the
Oh, that's horrible, Orlando Chiquita. Very sad to hear. As I'm planning my trip. No, just
call, I responded to the scene. The victim, Mr. Magby, had already been transported with EMS. There were 3 individuals on scene.
Also, Kay has mentioned a great point, KLF. Remember, Georgia adds the child endangerment charge if the kid is in/around the incident, and that is absolutely true. And that's something to keep in mind here, guys, especially because the people here are law nerds, okay? So I can trust you all to understand sort of the nuances about those charges. So, child endangerment in the third degree is going to be probably fighting in the vicinity of a child. In this case, it may mean committing an M word in front of the child, an unaliving, or near that child. But in standard Georgia law or legalese, you have to make sure that that is not in your mind the same thing as an active act against a child. That's not what this is. And that's not what the charge was meant for. There is a different charge that is meant for that. And so I think it's important that people do realize that. And I appreciate KLF pointing that out because sometimes, again, we forget because we are court nerds that, later on down the road, there may be a newbie watching this. God forbid, hopefully, so I can get 300 fucking subs. No, I mean, this guy is a piece of shit. Absolutely. Okay. But again, he's not that piece of shit. And they're that type of piece of shit. And honestly, I think it's very important for anybody that chooses to watch these types of hearings. Even if you're doing it for fun, I think it's incumbent upon you to recognize what you're watching, right? There are nuances upon nuances upon nuances in terms of what and why they charge people with things. And That's why people are lawyers and I'm not. Like, that's just the honest to God truth. But what I think you have to be careful of is when you hear a term like am I allowed to say that one? I don't know. Cruelty. Child cruel. Whatever. Who cares? I'm not even monetized. Child cruelty. Um, that brings up or child endangerment. Was it endangerment? No, I thought it was child cruelty or cruelty to children in the third degree. But regardless, what I'm saying is that that isn't what necessarily your brain conjures when you think of what that charge is. Okay. And it's not that it's any better necessarily, but it is important to notice the difference of, because we are court nerds. We're not just the average public who's reading this, maybe one or once a month reading an article about court. Like, no, I expect more of you guys, and I think you want more. You want to learn more. So that's not what this is. If he was being cruel to a child in our mind, um, that would be a totally different charge. And I'm not saying that what he did was okay, but it's an important uh, thing to discern the difference of, because you can't get on level 10 on everything, because when something appears that needs a level 10 or 11, you're already there and you can't make a point. It's like when you're a parent and you freak like, and this is something that as a parent with ADHD that was untreated, I did a lot. Easy to trigger me, right? Easy to trigger me. And get me to like a level 9, you know? And then also easy to make me sad and get me down to a -7. But that's ADHD and the fluctuation of emotions there. Being able to meter that is sort of an adult skill that I'm working on currently. 35, still haven't got there. But for example, my daughter is way better at that than I am. Let's see what he's got to say. I hope that they maybe they missed it. Maybe the person's still alive and they made a mistake. I don't know.
Scene that were inside the location during the incident. Miss Davis, Miss Handspike, and Miss Coulter. All three were brought to the station to be interviewed about what happened inside the apartment. While I went to the station to interview them, the apartment was processed by our CSI tech for any evidence inside of the incident that happened. The victim was shot, I believe, twice inside the location. All the individuals inside the house during the incident included some juvenile children, the three witnesses, Mr. Magby, the victim, and Mr. Carr. Once I took the three witnesses back to the station to interview, they all advised they were there, basically kind of hanging out. Miss Handspike was invited over by Miss Davis and Miss Coulter to basically just chill out. Miss Handspike was going to get her lashes done. She was dropped off by Mr. Magby, the victim. Once they arrived, Mr. Magby was invited to hang out with Handspike, Davis, and Coulter. While they were in the residence, Mr. Carr entered. He found Miss Davis and Mr. Magby in the bedroom. Once he found him in the bedroom, Mr. Carr proceeded to shoot Mr. Magby. This incident happened in the master with Miss Davis, her two children, and Mr. Magby. Miss Handspike and Coulter were in the adjacent bedroom after the shooting took place. Miss Davis ran out of the room into the adjacent bedroom where Miss Handspike and Coulter were. After shooting Mr. Magby, Mr. Carr went into that adjacent bedroom with the firearm still drawn, kind of waved it across the room. The three individual, Handspike, Davis, and Coulter jumped in the closet to get away from Carr. At that point, they called 911. Carr left the location, and that was basically it.
During the shooting, detective, where were the children?
The children were laying in the bed, basically in the line of fire between Carr and Magby.
Were any of the children belong to Mr. Carr?
Yes, they were his children with Miss Davis.
When police arrived, Mr. Carr had already fled the scene?
Yes.
Were you able to get any type of video footage or anything regarding the incident?
There was no video available from the apartment, but the witnesses were provided photo lineups, and they all selected Mr. Carr as the individual who did the shooting for this incident.
Was Mr. Magby in the bed when he was shot, or?
He was laying in the bed. When Mr. Carr came in, he got up, and that's when he was shot.
I believe you testified, but just making sure, how many times was Mr. Magby shot?
I do not have the autopsy. I know it was multiple. Hold on. I'm going to say at least 2, but I don't have the autopsy in front of me.
Do you recall where on his body he was shot?
It was
Fucking downer much.
I believe the torso area, like upper midsection. Again, I don't have.
Okay. After you learn the identity of Mr. Carr, did you run a criminal history regarding Mr. Carr?
Yes. After getting his identification, I ran his criminal history and found he was a convicted felon.
Your investigation detective, were you able to determine what type of firearm was used?
There were 9mm shell casings collected from the incident location.
Okay. Did this happen in Clayton County?
Yes.
Were you ever able to interview Mr. Carr about what happened?
No, I attempted after he was apprehended, and Mr. Carr declined to talk to me.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cosio.
Thank you, Judge. And Detective, you mentioned that you found 9mm shell casings at the scene. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know if was Mr. Carr, when he was arrested, were you able to find a 9mm that he had in his possession?
I don't think he had a 9mm. He was in possession of a firearm, but Mr. Carr was apprehended over a year after this incident happened.
Over a year after the incident was
And
happened. Yeah, I wonder
just
why it's
another
different.
question about the shell casings. Do you know if any like fingerprint analysis was done on the shell casings that were found?
Our CSI tech did send them off the results. I don't have offhand. A copy would have been put in the case file, but I'm not sure of. They were sent off.
Okay. And just to kind of be clear, who was all at the scene? You had mentioned that was there 4 people total besides the children? Is that correct?
There were 4 adults and the 2 children, including the victim.
And you said Mr. Magby was in the bedroom with Miss Davis with the 2 children. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you also mentioned the 2 children that were there were Mr. Carr's and Miss Davis's children. Was that correct?
Yes.
Nobody is allowed to laugh if I get arrested. I'm not going to get arrested. I'm not. But you guys have already said you'll bail me out. Please.
And the relationship between Mr. Carr and Miss Davis, do you know if they were romantic anymore or
From Miss Davis's account, they were broken up because they had a history of domestic issues as recent as a few days before this incident where she was physically accosted. I asked her, did he live at the location? She said he did not. I asked if he had a key to the location. She stated that he did not. So that was my question as to how he got inside the location. And she stated they were broken up and they weren't together anymore.
so did she say they had just been broken up for a few days?
I'm not sure of how long. I know he was there as recent as a few days before the incident. It was my understanding that they co-parent together. So I'm pretty sure with small kids, he would have been around frequently, but she stated he didn't live at the location and was surprised when he showed up.
And you mentioned also, I guess, that an incident had occurred a few days prior to that. The domestic violence incident. Was that ever reported to the police?
That particular incident was not, but when I did run the criminal history for Mr. Carr, he had an outstanding warrant for College Park for domestic violence at the same apartment with Miss Davis as the victim.
And do you know when that warrant was from? How like far removed it was from the incident on May 3rd or May 2nd of 2022?
I believe it was from earlier in the year. I don't have an exact date.
And did I get you did mention that you interviewed the three witnesses that were there.
Yes.
Did they indicate what type of relationship Mr. Magby and Mr. Carr had, or if they had one at all?
From my understanding,
It was a throuple. They were having a throuple. A throuple.
they didn't really have a relationship.
Did they know each other at all, or
Mr. Magby and Mr. Carr? No. Mr. Carr and Miss Davis's relationship was kind of rocky. So all the friends were aware of their issues. That was one of the reasons Mr. Magby was reluctant to even go inside the location prior to the incident. He didn't want any issues with Mr. Carr because I guess he knew they were in a relationship. So once he went inside and was made or assured that nothing, you just coming in, well, there's nothing wrong with you visiting. That's why he came into the location, and apparently that wasn't the case.
okay? So just kind of to recap real quick. Mr. Carr came over to the house. Did you say he let himself in, or did someone let him in?
No one let him in. That was a question that I had for Mr. Carr
Lisa Figaro, I have some experience with those types of clinics with shrooms and with ketamine. We should do a stream on those one night.
we would talk, but he declined to speak. Everybody was upstairs. There's only bedrooms and bathrooms upstairs, so there's not really furniture to sit on. The sitting area would be downstairs in the living room. So as far as how Mr. Carr got in, I'm not sure. I believe the back door was unsecured, but I don't know. And there was previous damage to the front door.
What is Canada, dude?
So
You don't lock your doors? We don't lock our doors. My door's not locked right now. I'm looking at it like, when was the last time I locked that door? Cannot remember.
it had been kicked prior to, so it wasn't able to be secured the best.
And I guess testimony, did he, once Mr. Carr did go in there, did he go to the bedroom? Was there anywhere else he went to first in the house?
I'm not sure where else he went. From Miss Davis's account, he burst into the bedroom and basically.
Make you feel better if I go lock the door, Melanie? I will.
Hold on, let me get her words correct. He came into the bedroom and stated,
It's locked. For you, babe.
Who the fuck is this? I guess referring to Mr. Magby. And shortly thereafter, there were gunshots.
So that kind of statement, do you think Mr. Carr was surprised to see someone else in bed with Miss Davis?
Probably.
All right. I don't have any further questions.
All right. Ms. Freeman, any follow-ups?
No, you are in the state rest.
All right. Mr. Kozigo, do you have any evidence to present?
No evidence, just argument.
Okay. And Ms. Freeman, do you have closing?
State waives opening.
All right, Mr. Cozio.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just going to argue for the malice murder count. Just don't believe this rises to malice murder. I believe under these circumstances, what should be charged at most is voluntary manslaughter. There was just an irresistible passion resulting from serious provocation. Just the incident of walking in on someone in bed with someone that you've had sexual relations with can make someone
Oh, God. I haven't been paying enough attention. You shitting me? He walked in and unalived somebody because of that? Listen, sir. Sir. Okay? No. Just no, dude. Move on. What does Lizzo say? You guys? I'm gonna have to look it up. Lizzo, in the famous words of Lizzo, somebody tell me the lyrics because I fucking don't know. The Truth Hurts. I think it's from The Truth Hurts. Lyrics. Am I wrong? Is it not from Lizzo? Why does songs look completely different when you read them versus when you hear them? You're like, that's not what I heard. These are not the words. Because they mean something different when you hit them on the note. I don't know. Seriously, this is, again, folks, listen, wait, it's not Truth Hurts. What song is that? When he's like, oh, fuck, what the fuck is that song? I'm not going to be able to do it now until we fucking figure it out. Good as hell. It's going to be good as hell. I'm pretty positive about that. Head toss, click my nails, baby, how you feel? Yeah, it's that one. So let me just look up the lyrics for it and I'll find the right one. Good as hell. Here we go. If he don't love you anymore, just walk your fine ass out the door. Oh, do I wish I could take my own advice? Yes. Yes, I do. But if I can't, you can, folks. Please walk your fine ass out the door. If you too good for that person and they in bed with somebody else, you walk your fine ass out the door. Do not waste your life away unaliving that person. It's not worth it. Go fuck 1,000 other better people.
Act out in this manner. So I don't think there's any malice behind the actions that took place here. So just asking judge to consider that and bind this over as voluntary manslaughter instead of malice murder.
All right, Ms. Freeman.
Thank you, Judge. We're asking that all the charges be bound over. And dealing with the malice murder, this defendant shot this Mr. McBee at least twice with his children in the bed in crossfire. Detective Washington indicated that after speaking to Ms. Davis, she and Mr. Carr were no longer together. And so it should not have been any kind of shocked or irresistible passion, whatever it is, to find someone else, another male there. But what gets me, Judge, is his children were there in the crossfire, in the room, in the bed when Mr. Carr shot this individual. So certainly we believe that the testimony is enough to rise to malice murder. So we're asking that all these charges are bound over to Superior Court.
Okay, based on the evidence and testimony presented today, I am finding probable cause to bind over all charges to Superior Court, and I'll issue that order today.
Thank you, Judge. And may Detective Washington be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And Mr. Cozio, does that wrap everything up for you as well?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good to see you.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Have a good one. Let's see, Jill, do you have anyone else?
Nobody there. All right. Let me just.
Because we don't love you anymore. So fine ass out the door.
Flip through my notes to make sure I've got everything.
Okay. And we're still live on YouTube, Judge, just so you know.
Okay.
Ah, that was the end. Judge Schiff discusses traffic. What's this? Oh, I'm gonna get a copyright claim on it. Is it? I was
My
busy
name is
dancing,
Louis Schiff,
Judge.
and I've had.
Hold on, shut up. 17th Judicial Court from where? 5 years ago. Okay. Okay, maybe we could watch this without any troubles. Let's talk. Let's listen to him. Let's listen to him. We're gonna listen. Just so it's noted, I'm transforming this content by adding my commentary and my opinion, and all respect due to the Honorable Louis H. Schiff from the 17th Judicial Court. If you have a problem with this, rather than take it up with YouTube Daddy, take it up with me. See if we can sort that out. Because we're going to watch your shit. Okay? Yeah, before COVID, let's remember that. So this is a pre-COVID video. God damn it. Don't bite me in the ass, Honorable Schiff. Do not. Please, sir. I honor your courts. I'm not even from your court. I'm not even from your country, okay? And I do. Just let me do this, please. Don't make me regret this. Yes, fair use. Thank you, Jonathan. It's fair use.
Had the honor and the privilege of serving as a Broward County Court judge since 1997. You've tuned into this video to gain some information about how our traffic court system works. Please understand that the information that you'll learn in this video is not serving as legal advice to you. You're encouraged to seek your own legal counsel before making any decision regarding your traffic infraction or traffic citation. The Broward County Traffic Court is held in 4 different courts.
Already, production value higher than mine. Did you see that transition? Where it brought him down and it put this shit over here? I don't know how to do that. I wish I could do that. I do not know how to fucking do that.
Courthouses. The downtown courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood in the southern part of the county, Plantation in the western portion of our county, and the northern portion of our county here in Deerfield Beach, where I've had the pleasure to serve. When you receive a traffic infraction, which is sometimes also called a citation, you have several options. They are in no particular order. You can pay the citation.
Okay, first of all, I love him. I fucking love him already. I love the no particular order. I love it all. I love it all, Judge. Keep going.
Citation and be done with it. You may elect traffic school, or you can enter a plea of not guilty. This video will focus on the option of having your day in court, entering a plea of not guilty. So let's talk about it. If you plea not guilty, you will then receive via the mail a notice of hearing. Your entry of plea of not guilty needs to also be filed by mail. Once you get your date and your time, you will be instructed to report to what's called a pre-trial conference. Your case will be assigned to either a judge or a traffic hearing officer. If you would like a judge in your case, you must elect a judge in writing at the time that you file your plea of not guilty, which is you have to elect within 30 days.
Elect them? Like, pick one? Jesus fucking Christ.
Going to court really is a two.
Also, Melanie, literally, I sound like an idiot. I got accepted to undergraduate school with a leaning towards going to law school recently when I applied, like during the middle of COVID. I was like, I've decided I'm going to go to law school and I'm going to be a lawyer. And I applied and they accepted me. And then I was like, I'm not a lawyer. I can't do that. I have a YouTube channel.
Step process. The first time you go to court will be the pretrial conference.
So I'm not even sad about the like $180 that I gave them to apply and be accepted, but yeah.
And at this conference, you will speak directly with the judge or the traffic hearing officer. There'll be no one else there as far as witnesses or police. The court will review any pretrial motions that you have filed, and it will be your opportunity to change your mind and plead guilty, which is an admission of the allegations, or no contest, and you can resolve your case at that time without the need to come back for a trial. At the pretrial conference, if your plea will be no contest or guilty, the judge or the traffic hearing officer will take time to ask you questions about the case, and you will have an opportunity to tell the judge or the traffic hearing officer a little bit about the case. In many instances, the court may only ask you to pay court costs and attend driving school after they've considered your story and the circumstances surrounding your citation. After you've told the judge or the hearing officer your story, in many circumstances, the court...
Cutscene. Again. I just like to point out how shitty I feel as an editor on my own YouTube videos where I have never done that. Oh, part of me is just crying because I'm like, the person who did this is probably a public employee. They worked hard. Like, I worked hard. I'm just not good at editing. That's the truth of the matter, is like, I watch a lot of court. I figure me is enough. Look at this. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard. Look at his face. He looks like, do you know what I'm gonna say?
may withhold the adjudication of guilt, order you to pay fines or court costs, and send you to driving school, but you won't receive points. However, you need to understand, if you do enter a plea of either guilty or no contest, there is no guarantee that you will receive a withhold. Each case is really on a case-by-case basis. It has its own individual, unique facts, and it depends upon the circumstances surrounding it, including, as I said earlier, your driving history. If you elect to keep your plea of not guilty, the judge will thank you, or the hearing officer will thank you for coming in, and then you will receive by mail the notice of your trial. So, here comes your trial. So what should you do? I suggest you arrive to court at least 15 minutes early, because you have to go through security and there'll be other people trying to get into the same courtroom. When you come early, make sure you've brought with you any evidence, photographs, diagrams, videos, and most importantly, any witnesses that you intend to call on your behalf. When your case is called, step forward to the podium and bring with you any of those witnesses. Make sure that you have all your evidence with you. The court will first hear testimony from other witnesses. If your case is a crash case or an accident case, those witnesses will tell the court what they know. This is not because the witnesses are more important than you, but it's because the witnesses will go first, and it's the burden of the state, it's the burden to show beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt that you committed the offense as charged.
Well, let's go back and listen to that little step he said there. I would have done a retake. Jonathan, do you think, was it you that said that 9 minutes into 24 minutes? I can easily make this 9 minutes into 24 minutes. Also, Lisa Figueroa has just said, picture this guy teaching sex education. What you're gonna do is take the male prophylactic unit, also known as a penis, and you're gonna cover that with a condom. It is the safest way to engage in safe sex.
Have all your evidence with you. The court will first hear testimony from other witnesses. If your case is a crash case or an accident case, those witnesses will tell the court what they know. This is not because the witnesses are more important than you, but it's because the witnesses will go first, and it's the burden of the state, it's the burden to show beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt that you committed the offense as charged. When you hear the testimony of the witnesses, it's important for you to take notes, because then, after they have given their testimony, you will have the opportunity to ask them questions, which is known as cross-examining them. After the witnesses goes, any of the law enforcement officers will also have an opportunity to testify. And like cases with eyewitnesses, you will have the opportunity to ask the officers questions pertaining to your case. As I said before, the burden is beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt, and that is the exact burden that's used in criminal cases. Now,
Super hard way of explaining that. Seriously, how did he just say that? He added 17 extra words to that statement.
testimony, you will have the opportunity to ask them questions, which is known as cross-examining them. After the witnesses goes, any of the law enforcement officers will also have an opportunity to testify. And like cases with eyewitnesses, you will have the opportunity to ask the officers questions pertaining to your case. As I said before, the burden is beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt, and that is the exact burden that's used in criminal cases. Now, if your case is a traffic citation where there is not an accident, the officer will give his or her testimony first, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask the officer questions, and then after that, you'll have the opportunity to present your side of the case as well, just as it would have been had the case been an accident case. Now remember a few things that's very important. When you step forward, the court has never heard your case before, so don't assume that the court understands the facts of your case.
Okay, except that in my experience, when somebody tries to explain the facts of their case, they are shot down, Judge. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that. People tell them to shut the fuck up. Stop talking about your case.
Please take your time to explain your case in a way that the court will certainly understand. Oftentimes, people have lots of points that they wish to make, and it's important that you don't wing it. It's important that you write down your points before you come into court. Put them on.
Okay, is that a direct, like an absolutely direct hit on me for not prepping for my live streams, Judge? Because no, I don't write shit down. Okay? Wow. I feel seen right now.
On a pad and a paper, and this way you can check them off after you have made those points. You know, I understand that you're going to be nervous, and so being nervous is okay.
This is also what the guy on the casting couch says. You know, it's okay to be nervous. Don't worry about it. Just look at me and pretend like nobody else is watching. It's okay.
But just take your time. The worst time to remember your best points is after you've walked out of the courtroom and you haven't had an opportunity to say it to the hearing officer or the judge. So to avoid that, make sure that you thoroughly review your notes during the trial and that you understand and check them off as you make sure you get to those points. Now, after you have given your testimony, and that comes after the other witnesses have given their testimony, the court's going to make a decision. And the court's going to do one of several things. If the court finds you not guilty, your case is over, and you'll go over to the clerk, you'll pick up your disposition, and you'll go home. Now, if the court decides, after hearing all the testimony, that the case has been proven beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt, then the court will sentence you. So what does the court look to in sentencing you? Number one, the court will look to the
So if you're starting your job on Monday, you immediately get an extra point. If your mom is dying, you get another point. If you have a child at home, you also get another point. If you were going to make it to court, but you didn't make it to court, that's 2 points. And if your boyfriend is also a meth head, 2 more points.
infraction itself. Two, the court will look to your driving history. And then lastly, the court will look at the testimony of the parties involved. Once the court has done that, the court will pronounce its sentence. It could be points, it could be a fine, it could be driving school, it could be costs, it could be all of those or a combination of those. Again, you'll walk over to the clerk and you'll pick up your paperwork. You'll have 30 days to pay any fines and court costs and complete driving programs. If you need additional time before...
If it's your birthday today, Donna, you can ask for a birthday present and we will sometimes grant it depending on which side of the country you live in.
Before you leave, ask the court and they can give you up to 90 days to have everything completed. Now, if you have additional questions, the 17th Judicial Circuit webpage has some information under frequently asked questions for traffic court, and you're encouraged to please take a look at that as well. On behalf of the judges of the 17th Judicial Circuit, we wish you well in your day in court, and thank you.
We wish you well in your day in court. Hey, that's pretty good. We're not done yet, though. I gotta find some more shit from here. Hold on. Yes, Kate. I'll take the copyright strike on this.
Hello, and welcome to the courtroom. Today we'll be going over the basics of proper courtroom behavior, so make yourself comfortable and take some notes. The courtroom is a formal place where respect and decorum are of the utmost importance. The following things will help familiarize you.
Sir, we are comfortable and taking notes. Seriously, I'll give 100,000 points, KCC points, to anybody who sends me their actual notes on this. Okay. Again, I'm transforming this, YouTube Daddy. Please note that. Everybody's taking notes. This is educational. I'm transforming this. This is actually a risk. I don't know how good these people did with fucking checking their music. I'll find out in about 6 minutes. In about 6 minutes, I'm going to go and get probably a fucking copyright strike on this channel.
You with what to do and what not to do during a child welfare proceeding. So let's get started. When you come into a courtroom, you'll see a number of places to sit. Not all courtrooms are alike, however, each will have places designated for specific people. This is where the judge presides. One of the tables will be designated for the representative from the Attorney General's.
Donna, this is pretty much the beginning, but I think we should start from the very beginning. I think. Let's start from the exact very beginning, you guys. Folks, this is from the state of Utah. Get ready.
Hello, and welcome to the courtroom. Today we'll be going over the basics of proper courtroom behavior, so make yourself comfortable and take some notes. The courtroom is a formal place where respect and decorum are of the utmost importance. The following things will help familiarize you with what to do and what not to do during a child welfare proceeding. So let's get started. When you come into a courtroom, you'll see a number of places to sit. Not all courtrooms are alike, however, each will have places designated for specific people. This is where the judge presides. One of the tables will be designated for the representative from the Attorney General's office and their client, a DCFS caseworker. Another table will be designated for a guardian ad litem and possibly their child client. And there will be a place where the parents and their attorney sit. Near the judge's bench will be the court clerk's desk and where the bailiff stands during a proceeding. Back here is where observers and guests of the court are allowed to sit. At this point, you should be acquainted with where everyone sits in the courtroom. Next, we will be discussing proper courtroom attire. The importance of being properly dressed for court cannot be stressed enough. Not only does your attire reflect your attitude towards your role, but it also reflects on your attitude towards the judge and the law. Wearing the proper attire to court is very important. Please be aware that what you wear in the field or in your office may not be appropriate for a courtroom.
All right.
Please be seated.
As a general rule, casualness is frowned upon, so leave your shorts, sandals, and sleeveless shirts in your closet and find something more professional to wear, because it is more respectful. It's also advised to tell your clients to wear their cleanest, most appropriate attire. If they're wearing a hat, suggest they take it off. If their shirt is untucked, advise them.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, editor. You did such a good job. I'm so scared of wearing the wrong thing to work or to court.
To tuck it in. Remember, your personal appearance is visible evidence of your respect for the law and the administration of justice. If you have any doubts as to whether your attire is proper for the courtroom, it's best to be cautious and go with something more professional. It's absolutely essential that you are prepared for court. If you're unprepared, you risk wasting court time and potentially risk the resolution of a case.
I didn't receive a psych evaluation.
I received the evaluation late yesterday, Your Honor, and didn't have time to get it sent to everyone.
Do you have a copy of it now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before we proceed, we'll all need to read the evaluation. Bailiff?
It's very important to be prepared for any and all of your upcoming cases.
So we'll have to postpone resolution until next month.
If unprepared, you risk wasting court time, and in some instances, you can delay the outcome or resolution of a case. Being unprepared not only affects the outcome of a case, but it gives parents the impression that you don't care about what happens to them or to their children. So make sure that you come to court prepared with what you need, because you want to send our clients the message that you do care about them, and that the resolution of their case is important to you. Some of the following things may seem like no-brainers to you, but it's best to stay constantly aware, so that your behavior in court doesn't
Constantly aware. Constantly. There's 8 of you left here. I love all of you.
compromise you, your clients, or the dignity of the courtroom. Along with dress and being prepared, there are other things that are distracting and should be avoided in a courtroom.
Well, none of us knew that he was in jail. I was just as surprised as you were when he was brought in cuffs.
Oh, it's a shame, really. You should hear about the mother.
Oh, believe me, I've already heard.
Although you may be friendly with people
Oh, they weren't talking about my tits? Sorry.
side of the courtroom, familiarity can lead to some consequential mishaps. Someone may overhear you discussing a case, which could seriously damage attorney-client privilege.
Sorry I was almost late, man. My car just wouldn't start. That's okay. You made it in time, and that's what matters.
You should also advise your clients to follow a few simple rules. First, talking during a court proceeding is frowned upon. Not only is it distracting, but it also inhibits the court's ability to obtain a proper transcript. Second, nonverbal communications such as sighing, eye rolling, or making faces are completely unacceptable. You may not think that what you do or what your client does has much.
What are you even talking about? Oh my God. Ugh. It is like so annoying to deal with people like this.
Effect. But imagine how things look from the judge's perspective.
The drug test results came back positive, Your Honor.
It's also important to remember to show the judge proper respect at all times.
Your Honor, I have no memory of that.
Remember that unless you're invited to remain seated by a judge, you should always stand before addressing them. I suppose now would be a good time to mention cell phones.
Hello?
Even when they're on vibrate, cell phones are distracting in the courtroom. It's as simple as this.
Especially when they're on vibrate, they're distracting.
If you don't want to disrupt the court proceeding, turn your cell phone off. Talking, texting, ringing, vibrating, and beeping are not allowed. Oh, sorry, that's very rude of me. Obviously, you shouldn't bring food, drinks, or chewing gum into the courtroom. They aren't allowed either. It's a good rule of thumb to always treat the courtroom as a formal place. It isn't a break room, a lunch room, your office, or your living room, and it should not be treated as such. At this point, you should be familiar with the do's and don'ts of courtroom etiquette.
I don't know that I am. Let's go back because I spend my evenings in court doing most of these things. Let's starting here.
Hello?
Even when they're on vibrate, cell phones are distracting in the courtroom. It's as simple as this. If you don't want to disrupt the court proceeding, turn your cell phone off. Talking, texting, ringing, vibrating, and beeping are not allowed. Oh, sorry, that's very rude of me. Obviously, you shouldn't bring food, drinks, or chewing gum into the courtroom. They aren't allowed either. It's a good rule of thumb to always treat the courtroom as a formal place. It isn't a break room, a lunch room, your office, or your living room, and it should not be treated as such. At this point, you should be familiar with the do's and don'ts of courtroom etiquette. The most important thing to keep in mind is that the courtroom is a place that deserves respect. The way you conduct yourself during a proceeding is a direct reflection of your attitude towards the law and your clients. So make it your goal to be dignified, professional, and as efficient as possible. Looks like my job here is done. Thank you for your attention, and good luck in court.
Thank you, buddy. I don't know your name, but I think your job here is done. And I have to say, I think my job here is almost done as well, folks. I've had such a wonderful evening with you. We've watched a plethora of court-related content, plus listened to me rant for a good portion of the evening, which, as we know, I need attention and I enjoy. Seriously, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. We are almost at 300 subs. The last I checked, we were at, let me double check right now. I'm getting more and more excited about this every day. Judge Simpson tomorrow, Lisa, I promise. T-Rex will remind me because we're also going to have T-Rex on the show tomorrow. It is our second ever Follow Friday for T-Rex showing up. Whatever way you want. Thank you so much giving me all the attention. Make sure you've joined the Discord. It's linked in the top. You can message me directly there. I don't know how long that'll last, so y'all better pick that up as an option now because it ain't gonna happen for long. Let me look here. We have 292 subscribers. That means there's only 8 left. Okay? 8 spots left in our 300 club. I love you all. Jonathan, I would love to ask OSG. I don't even have OSG's info. I'd love that clip though, but I will do my research. You know, I do have the ability to research and like collect my own content. Anyways, listen, wonderful evening. I've enjoyed spending it all. You can ask absolutely, Jonathan. You know where to find me on Discord, and you know I always pay up. I'm worth it. Let's put it that way. Listen, you guys have been here from the beginning to the end. I love you all. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Remember that I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. We made it through a whole nother week. Woo! For some of us, it was the first week of school back, and I'm proud of each and every one of us. Thank you so much for being there for me. Letting me be there for you. I love you all. Talk to you soon. TGIF! Donna says it's already TGIF. That's right, baby. In Eastern time zone, it's fucking Friday. There in the future. I love you guys so much. Please be safe. Remember that I love you. Proud of you. Bye. Oh my God, did I forget this Uncrustable in here? Holy shit.